The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is episode 1 of the unprecedented season 3 of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, September 13th. Let's start now. Football is here. We have a full NFL Week 1 slate in the books. It ended last night in Seattle, where Russell Wilson returned to the town in which he became a legend, returned to the town in which he became a Super Bowl champion, returned to the town that he got his ass booed in last night on Monday Night Football. Geno Smith stole the show. Pete Carroll was bouncing around. Rumors were in abundance. RG3 beat a Hawk. It was a magical evening in a magical way to start the Joe Buck and Troy Aikman era of Monday Night Football. There was a Manning cast as well in which we all watched along when Peyton was looking at Nathaniel Hackett, first-year head coach, making poor clock management decisions in a lot of people's eyes. I'm excited to hear what Nathaniel Hackett thinks. Nonetheless, Brandon McManus, who has a massive leg, misses by about that much.
Ooh. Looked good for a long time.
62 yards, that ball was in the upright.
Yeah.
63 yards, that ball is kissing off the upright probably, and 64 yards, that thing sideways, landing right in front of Seattle Seahawks general manager John Schneider. If you watch the clip back, and we do have it, we'll get it from the back version, but if you watch this bomb from McManus, I think he thinks it's in when it's leaving his foot.
Yeah.
The ball starts turning a little bit sideways. Now, that could be wind, could be because he caught it a little bit fat, but nonetheless, McManus, who has a massive leg at mile high and at sea level, misses inches. Schneider right there, arms crossed right underneath him. He was on the sideline as they were figuring out all the fuckery of the timeout, no timeout, clock run, clock doesn't run. They're about to line up for that 64-yard field goal. The Seattle Seahawks fans were loud.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Northwest fandom is always loud. They proved it once again last night. I think he ran over and was like, I'm fucking going to get a look at this thing for myself. Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith get a big-time dub. Congrats to them. And congrats on the NFL for going off with an electrifying weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Great weekend, NFL.
Couple goal line stands last night with fumbles going the other way. Another inside the 5 drive that only resulted in 3 points for the Denver Broncos. They're going to have to figure a lot of stuff out. Jerry Jeudy is very fast. I think I forgot that. I think we all did. There was playmakers all over the field, but it was Geno Smith's evening. I can't wait to chit-chat with all of our guests today. Obviously, Rex Ryan will join us in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll have some thoughts on how Geno played last night because he and Geno, different era of both of their careers. Geno has his big, hey, I'm back. I've been behind 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Eli and Russell Wilson. This is the new version of me with a team completely empowering Geno. He's playing. Excited to hear what Rex Ryan says about that. And he's also here for Dr. Scholes.
Okay.
Doc? Yeah, foot stuff.
Oh.
They are
Love
the
that.
best, dude.
This is awesome.
Genius. That's
Like walking on clouds.
This is a
been
couple
waiting.
years too late.
yeah, right.
But it's right on time.
Hell yeah.
Cannot wait to chat with Rex Ryan about the NFL season, also what he's got cooking with Dr. Scholes for their athlete's foot treatment, basically.
Okay.
Making it easy and making the stigma of the conversation kind of disappear a little bit. If your feet are uncomfortable, Dr. Scholes has a way to fix it, and Rex Ryan's here to tell you about it. Also today, Jordan Poyer of the Buffalo Bills, the number 1 team in all the sports books to go in and win the Super Bowl. They obviously went to the Los Angeles Rams last Thursday and pounded them.
Yeah. Yep.
Jordan Poyer had a pick. He's a friend of the show. The conversation should be fantastic. Then at 2:05 Eastern, Aaron Rodgers will be here for the first conversation of Season 3 of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, the unprecedented, groundbreaking, trailblazing Aaron Rodgers Tuesday that we are very lucky to be a part of. Can't wait to hear what he's got to say. He's had a couple days to sit down now, not only with his new haircut that looks super cool, but on that Packers disappointing performance from this past weekend against the Vikings, who might be the greatest team in the NFL. We do not know at this
Certainly
point.
possible.
It's only week 1. Excited to hear what he has to say. Today should be a great day. The Talks Table's here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Ty, did you expect Russell Wilson to get that response last night in Seattle?
To be honest, no, not really. I figured it'd be kind of the same thing as all these other guys who have switched teams, from one year to the next. A very touching tribute, before the game. And then as the game started, everything kind of shifts. But they showed it. I mean, when he came out onto the field initially in warm-up, they booed his ass. They booed his ass from the get-go all night. It really did seem, you can take however you want to when people, talk about revenge games and shit like that. Last night did kind of seem like it meant more to the Seahawks. It really did. Like, they really wanted to shove it up Russ's ass for leaving.
Well, and it feels like, and to your point on that, Pete Carroll in the night before game meeting, it's the last time you're chit-chatting before everybody's going to be at the stadium getting into their game routines and everything like that. It's almost like Pete said, this doesn't leave this room. He's chewing his gum. He's got his Air Maxes on. He's wearing his cap. This doesn't leave this room. But if you've been here with Russ, you fucking know what tomorrow means.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you haven't been here, ask an older guy what it's about. He thinks he's better than you. He thinks he's better than me.
Yeah.
Fucking John Schneider, he thinks he's better than John Schneider.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
This doesn't leave the room. But tomorrow, the guy you're playing, remember, they traded you away. Defensive lineman that makes a big-time stop on a goal line stand. They traded you away, Noah Fant. They wanted you fucking out of here. This guy is better than... there's a chance that happened. With all the rumors, anonymous sources, remember, it got ugly there between Team 3 and Team, I like Team Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
Anonymous source, that gets buried. Russ goes back. We're all friends. Russ ends up leaving again. More anonymous sources. Everything was in the chamber for Pete Carroll, I think, if any of those are true. We don't know if those are true. We're just going off what it looked like last night as they were playing as well. Pete Carroll and Russ shook hands after the game. Hey, congrats. Have a good one. See you later. Only those two really know what it was like behind closed doors when Russ was potentially pissed off about the new offense or the offensive line or how things were going, wanting his own office, doing whatever the hell, being whatever guy he wants to be. And maybe Pete Carroll knows that. But yeah, it looked like an emotional win for the Seahawks. Yeah. And the fans were there. The 12s were there from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
When he jogged out on Monday Night Football kickoff or countdown, hey.
They let him have it.
That was like an eighth full. It's like 4:15 p.m. Seattle local time. The people that got in there early let them know about it. Then whenever he came out for the game with the warm-up, which we have the clip, Joe Buck and the boys kind of just let it run, and so you could listen to it. Mixed review. You could hear the boos, but there was also cheers when it was at max capacity. And warm-ups, 4:15 local, little different story, a little bit more boo. Once we got closer to kickoff, 5:15 local. That's going to be tough, by the way.
It's wild.
We appreciate the West Coasters
Thank
for
you,
going
West
through what
Coast.
you go through, but also your primetime games are earlier, so you get to kind of have a night after games.
Nice,
For us, we're all kind of battling for the fourth quarter to get through it. So there's definitely pros and cons for either side, but we appreciate you showing up. And in Seattle last night for making that electric environment, here was him coming out, leading the Denver Broncos. That's right, onto this field that I have won a lot on. Here's the reaction.
Onto the field, he was greeted with a mixed reaction at best, and here he comes again.
Joe Buck debut. So this is normally when, that's good. This is normally when they cheer the person on.
Yeah.
When you're coming on the field, we'll cheer for you. While you're playing, we'll boo you.
Yes.
I got to experience it with Adam Vinatieri. Adam Vinatieri up in New England. As we're going on the field for warm-ups, everybody's like, thank you, Mr. Vinatieri, for everything. And this is different. Obviously, quarterback, different position than kicker, but Vinatieri did a lot for New England, I think, and people know who he was up there. On the field, walking on the field, very nice to him. As soon as that game started, they were saying terrible things to him. Absolutely terrible things. And Vinny expected it, understood it, and then on the way out, they were back to being, hey, thank you for everything you've done. Now, Patriots won that game, so that might have been why.
Sure.
But it was when Peyton came back for the 18-12 game. Peyton versus Andrew Luck in Lucas Oil Stadium, Sunday Night Football. A lot of things get remembered about that night. One of them for me was how loud that place was for Peyton when he was, after he jogged on the field, was doing a quarterback warm-up, like right before a coin toss kickoff, which is very close to the game. So, you could see how that potentially emotionally fucks with you a little bit or drains you. He took his helmet off, had a full 15 to 30 seconds of him waving, and the place was going ape shit. And then as soon as the game started, they were they were loud when Peyton was on offense. They were celebrating when he was getting sack fumbles, whenever he was getting sacked for safeties, everything. They were going crazy against him. And I think that's kind of what we just expected, and then it wasn't like that at all. There seems to be bad blood up there between Russ and Seattle, Connor. What's that all about? Because I think even you Boston fucks would cheer for Tom time and time again before the game, and then during the game, fuck off Tom, right?
Yeah, before the game, I remember very specifically everyone going nuts for him because Brady actually did the whole run down the 100 yards, the let's go in the end zone like he did in New England, and people were, cheering for him.
Little nostalgia pop.
Little nostalgia pop.
my
People,
God.
appreciated what he did, of course, but then as soon as the game started, like you said, they started booing him from start to finish, and it was very loud. And I think the only difference with Russ is, Peyton, neck injury, terrible, back half of his career, cut. Tom, even though he did get a contract offer, it wasn't that, great for him, so he chooses to leave. Russell was like, I don't want to be here anymore. You have to trade me. Like, I feel like that's the only difference between those situations. So
He was trying to babyface, though, that whole thing. Remember, Team 3 was the one saying everything.
Yeah.
And Team 3 was probably telling Russ, hey, we can get you out of this situation. We'll be the bad guys. You'll be the good guy. Don't worry about it. People won't even know. Seattle was like, nah,
No, we know.
we know
We
what's
know,
going
we
on.
know how Team 3 is.
Smart fan base.
The number right there after team is the one. It's literally
What's your
Team
number?
Yeah,
3.
3.
You are, right? You're 3? Mm-hmm. So who's telling all these people that the offensive line fucking stinks and the offense coordinator is bad, want to get the fuck out of here? Is that you? And that's what Seattle's saying, I think. That's what their fans are saying. And I would like Seattle Seahawks fans to remember, and down the road, you might not be able to get a free agent because of this. So hope you're happy.
Yeah.
Hope you're happy, Seattle Seahawks. That's what people were saying on the internet last night.
Yeah, of course.
All the big diehard Russell Wilson fans, which there are many. And how could there not be? You saw him looking like a goddamn angel walking out of his house to a Rolls Royce, and everything he says publicly is a cliche machine. So you just think, oh, this guy's pure-hearted. Seems to be this way. There's a lot of people on the internet that absolutely love Russell Wilson, or part of the Russell Wilson tribe. And I will not say that we're not part of it because let's ride.
right.
But with that being said, they were all saying, I hope Seattle Seahawks fans are happy that they're displaying their trashiness. And in the future, this is going to affect who wants to become a member of their team. You win games, people want to be on your team.
Yeah.
Just as easy as that.
Exactly.
I don't know how to change it. You win, people are going to want. Are the Seattle Seahawks for real? At Tone Diggs. Last night, emotional, big Monday Night Football game. Everybody's juiced and amped. Geno Smith looked like he could do no wrong. There were some plays last night he was making where it's like, God damn, Geno Smith was projected to be this guy. And finally, after a few stops, he has become this guy. On the run, touch, how you doing? Keep it moving, touchdown. Eyes downfield, on the move, eluding sacks and dropping it in an absolute bucket. Geno Smith played like this from start to finish. Had a lot of emotional energy, ran some people over, was slinging the pill all over the damn yard. That one, he had to keep the safety off this guy, Parkinson, who he just has incredible flow in air. Drops it right only in a spot that he can catch and not catch it. This is the best Geno I think we've seen since West Virginia, right?
Yeah, for
probably.
sure.
Is this what Geno's going to look like with an entire program and organization pushing behind him? Is this what the Seattle Seahawks are this year? DK Metcalf made some plays, Ty made some plays, Geno's doing his thing. What if the Seahawks are for real, Tone? Is that a thing or not?
I think I think it was similar to last season where they could run the ball, and if you're going to be able to run the ball, and that last year they stopped the run. Now Javonte Williams had a decent game last night for the Broncos, but if you could run the ball and kind of protect Geno like that with Penny, and then when Kenneth Walker comes back, I think they're going to at least be competitive and stay in games. Now, they scored those 2 touchdowns in the first half, and they did not score anything in the second half, or what, just a field goal in the second half. So maybe they figured Geno out a little bit, and going forward, that worries you a little bit. But if they can continue to run the ball,
I mean, let's shoot the people straight here. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, sure.
Broncos should have covered last night.
Yeah, they should.
Absolutely.
you don't fumble. on the
Broncos
goal
should
line
have
twice.
absolutely covered last night. Nathaniel Hackett is going to be questioned for a lot of decisions he was making last night, running the same exact play on the goal line, on the half-inch line, it being stuffed out twice with the same exact outcome both times. In hindsight, you can judge and make fun of, but both of those things get scored, and both of those are touchdowns. Whole different game. We cover. We're celebrating today because Broncos win, cover, and over hits if that takes place. Going to be tough to hit the over whenever you're fumbling on the half-inch line twice. I mean, absolutely 2 times. Actually on the half, they couldn't even put the fucking goal or line of scrimmage line basically all the way in there because how close it was. That's one of those ones where if Russell is under center and he just falls forward somehow, it's a touchdown.
Yes.
He goes up over top, it's a touchdown. I mean, they were so close, 2 different occasions, both ending up with fumbles, both going to different direction. Those are how you win and lose games. If you're going to get those all year, the Seattle Seahawks are going to win. Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. They get that type of stuff. Broncos should have covered, but it just felt like, honestly, it was Seattle's night. Was that the football gods telling us something right there on Monday Night Football?
Let's ride.
No. Let's fly.
Yeah.
Is that them saying, hey, that the pony that rode out of Seattle into Denver was the problem around here, and this is just a display from the football gods letting us know publicly, like, hey, this is, if you want to judge how the situation went, this is the team that is rewarded in it all in this particular evening. I still think the Broncos are going to be good. I still believe they're going to figure it out, and Russell Wilson will. But some of those balls, they looked a little lollipop. Hey, those moon rockets that he normally throws that come down into DK Metcalf and feel like look like they're going to break through Metcalf or Ty's fucking arms over there for Seattle. They looked a little bit bottle rockety coming down. Jerry Jeudy very fast, going to have to work out the timing with him. I assume that's a work in progress, but the balls did not look the same out of Russell Wilson. Doesn't scare me, but it didn't look the exact same 3 that we had seen in the past.
No, definitely not. And I think, like, to your point, you know, when you used to see those plays to like Lockett and Metcalf and stuff like that, like he's always hitting them in stride, Like maybe it was just kind of the emotions and everything, but you know, we always talk about Brady, like his arm just continues to get better and better somehow. And I'm not saying Russ isn't as good, but like you keep you underthrow guys like that, you know, like you can turn the ball over more, and also maybe just shit can the, you know, running out of shotgun on the 1-inch line. Maybe, like you said, just fucking get Russ under center and let him fall in. I get you just paid him a bunch of money, but like he can move. Let's make sure we're punching it in when we get down there.
And maybe it's the mallet finger, and maybe that's why they didn't want to have him reach over top, or whatever the case. 0 points. 1 inch total to score on 2 different drives, and they can't get the job done for whatever reason. Great goal line stands by the Seattle Seahawks. We are not knocking that.
No, absolutely not.
But it's just like in an offensive society that we're in right now, you would think they'd be able to find a half of a fucking inch a couple times whenever you're paying somebody $250-some million and you got a brand new offensive guru head coach.
Offensive guru head coach, and we haven't talked about how they got the ball back with 4 minutes left and didn't have enough time to get closer than a 64-yard.
Okay, so let's talk about that. New offensive guru head coach that you bring in, because all offensive gurus have been doing well as head coaches. Now, new head coaches have performed very well in week 1. Haven't really been any rookie mistakes or game situation fuck-ups until last night. A conversation certainly began and is continuing. I would assume that most people are chiming in because Peyton Manning is literally watching along live with the team that he currently lives in the city of, with the new head coach at the end in a 2-minute situation, and he's saying live on the air for everybody to hear last night live and here on the internet.
Probably get a timeout here. Probably get a timeout, talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about this one. Maybe get one here. Maybe we won't get one here. Maybe... And maybe we just talk about it. Got to get one here.
Nate, wait. And then Shannon Sharp goes, so let me get this straight. They just blew through 30 seconds there to trot out somebody to do the field goal. Now, if they go for that on 4th and 5, if they take a timeout early, save the amount of time, they go for it, they don't get it, then he's the idiot who didn't even send out his kicker for a 64-yard opportunity, and he has a kicker that can hit from 64. Now, they call a timeout, they save themselves some time, and you figure that the offensive guru head coach and the $256 million quarterback can figure out a way to get 5 yards. Or if they even draw him off, try to draw him off sides before taking the timeout at the end. None of these things happen, so I think that's why it's a question everywhere. Hindsight, once again, is our friend in this, but Nathaniel Hackett's beginning as a play caller and as a head coach is in question, and I think it all happened on Monday Night Football, and he'll just have to bounce back, but that's life as a fucking head coach in the NFL, I guess.
Well, and it's one of the things we talk about, too. Like, you always mention it, and we've talked about it with Chuck, like how many of those different things that he probably didn't have to worry about last year when he's just the OC, and who knows how many plays he's actually calling in Green Bay because LaFleur calls most of it. Like, that's a lot more responsibility on your plate.
How about the timeouts for the kneels at the end?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything he's doing is being scrutinized right now.
Yeah.
Joining us Joining us now, exactly. Joining us now, this is the men's league.
Yeah.
It's like when Shiano had people fucking dive in the
diving at
ankles.
the knees.
Fans shouldn't be yelling timeout and your head coach isn't. Like, I know it's Peyton Manning, but what? Half of the country was watching that game like, okay, timeout, talk about it, timeout.
No, I agree completely. But I assume he had a plan. You would think he would have had a plan. Joining us now is a man who's been in that seat before, had that headset on, had to make those types of decisions. And not only did he do it in a fantastic fashion, he took the Jets to fucking playoffs like every goddamn year.
Yeah.
Ever since he's been gone, they haven't won without him. Yeah, they stink.
Yeah.
No offense to them. Offense should be taken, actually.
A little bit of offense.
But I got a chance to meet this guy since he's been working at ESPN. He's electrifying. He's hilarious. And now, he's here for Dr. fucking Scholes.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, legend Rex Ryan.
Hey, what up, Pat?
Rex!
Man, it's good to see you, buddy.
Coach, it's great to see you.
The first thing, though, do we have to call timeout? Are you kidding me? Everybody in the stadiums want to call timeout. Everybody watching at home like, timeout. Coach, timeout. You got 3 of these bad boys. Are you kidding me?
So-
you got Russell Wilson. It ain't like you have Mark Sanchez. You got Russell Wilson.
They paid him $256 million just like a week or two ago. They got the richest owner in all of sports, so I guess that means nothing. But everybody on earth, with the 4th and 5 left here, 50-some seconds left, because if you go for it and you don't get it, Denver's kneeling it out anyway. So there's really no, Rex, why wouldn't you, I guess?
No, 100%. Like, you got to be kidding me here. Like, you have to call timeout and then and move it with your best player, the one you paid $240 million to. You're right, Pat.
Yeah,
you got to do it. And now look, this kicker is unusual. I mean, like I say, I understand, milking it down and kicking the field goal and all that. Not from 64 yards. Are you kidding me? How long was that damn record? 63-yard field goal. That thing lasted for 100 damn years. Tom Dempsey, half-foot guy or whatever, he knocks it through. He still could have used Dr. Scholes, but anyway, he knocks it through. And here's the thing. It just was, it was just really strange, man. It almost looked like he panicked.
Okay.
It almost looked like he wasn't prepared for the situation and okay, what's my call? And he froze. And I've seen coaches do that before.
Okay.
They freeze it in the biggest moments. And you're like, but as a head coach, they pay you for those moments. And I couldn't believe that, what I was watching. But again, hopefully he'll be a really good coach down the road. But, man, he's going to regret that one.
Yeah, I would assume so. He's going to look back on it and second guess everything, hopefully. I mean, West Virginia's head coach did not second guess any of his decisions after losing a game.
That's right, do it all again.
I'd go back and do it the exact same way again. All right, we fucking lost, all right? So let's not do that. But yeah, I think obviously Hackett will look back on this and wonder what if. But you've been in football forever, literally forever. We read on your Wikipedia that you and your brother said when you were like 6 years old, we're going to be fucking football coaches. That's just how it's going to be. You love the game. Whenever you get that head coaching role in that opportunity, you ask the kicker, right, what's your line? Do you think he was told, like, hey, this is our line, and in his head, hey, I got him to where the fucking kicker told me to be. We got to give him a shot. Like, what do you think, or do you think it was just a full, I've never been in this position before, what the fuck should I do moment?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, you find out the range from the kicker. He can kick it from here. We got to get to this yard line to have any kind of chance. But you have 3 timeouts. It's 4th and 5. It ain't 4th and 100. It's not 5 seconds left or even 20 seconds left. Oh, yes, it is, because you let the clock get down to 20 seconds. So you had no choice but to kick it then. It just totally butchered the thing. And the way these guys convert 4th downs now and the way the rules are, like 4th and 5 is like, that's back in the day, 4th and 1s. I mean, it's easy to convert those, a hell of a lot easier than it used to be. And to me, there was no. I mean, I'm gonna go down with my best player, the one I'm giving $240 million to, and we gave up like 3 players and 3 draft picks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You gotta ride with your quarterback, and unfortunately, he never did that, so we'll never know.
That's a tough start, obviously, for his head coaching career and also Russell Wilson's Denver Broncos Let's Ride career. On the flip side, though, how about those goal line stands? 2 fumbles, same exact play, basically, half-inch line. That's momentum a team can ride for the next few weeks, Rex.
Oh, there's no question. And here's the thing I took from number one, phenomenal red zone defense. All right. Last year, man, I mean, the Seahawks were awful in almost every statistic on defense. All right. But when you saw these plays in the by the goal line, it was unreal. I mean, 2 takeaways, like that's amazing. But I tell you what, I've got to give a shout out to my guy, Geno Smith. All right.
Yes,
I know he's got a chin like a marshmallow, but Geno Smith came out on fire in that first half. You know he did. He played his tail off, and I think he's going to ride that momentum. Look, I started him for 2 years. He hadn't really had the opportunity to go since. He's been on the bench behind some really good quarterbacks, and I'm excited for Geno to finally get this opportunity again, and hopefully he'll make the most of it.
I think he will. It seemed like he started out in a great fashion, and the whole team's around him, obviously sitting behind Eli and sitting behind Russell. He's probably a completely different player. What do you think Pete Carroll told those boys the night before? Now, I know you're a big, let's go get a fucking snack guy.
Damn right.
Do you think Pete let him know, like, hey, all the rumors you've heard, if you weren't here last year, as somebody who was, Russ thinks he's better than everybody in here. Do you think Pete used that type of stuff? I don't know if you know Pete that well. That had to be, it felt like all of Seattle wanted last night pretty bad from the beginning all the way to the end, Rex.
Yeah, there was no doubt. I don't know if he would go out and signal, just take out, the Russell Wilson, put it on him. I think he would use it more as a team. Like, look, everybody wants to see Russell Wilson and his new Denver Bronco team, this superstar team against us. We're just the afterthought here. Oh, yeah? We're getting ready to beat the hell out of this football team. And I think that's how they played. They were inspired. You're right. They did want to, have Geno Smith back. And look at the fan base, man. All of them chanting Geno. It's like, good for you, man. Like, that was great to see. And the great thing about, Russell deserved a lot better. Hell no, you're with another team now, man. So I don't blame the fans for having at it. And it was kind of a fun thing. But Pete Carroll, darn well he was using the old, disrespect to us completely and to our quarterback and everybody else, and he certainly used that.
Okay, we're talking to Rex Ryan, obviously absolute legend. Just chatted about Monday Night Football and Russell Wilson getting booed, jogging on for warm-ups in the Monday Night Football countdown on ESPN, and being booed throughout the entire evening. They should have covered untimely turnovers that the Seattle Seahawks defense forced changes the entire evening. I want to ask about a couple other NFL teams before we dive into this Dr. Scholl's partnership because hey, this is brilliant. Yeah, it is. We'll get into it. How do you feel about the Buffalo Bills, a team you know very well, obviously? Josh Allen's like a prototype, it feels like, but that team has dogs everywhere. Number one in all sports books. They go out to L.A., steamroll. What do you like about that team, Rex? Haven't really got a chance to hear your take on the whole squad.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, everything about that team. Like, this isn't the team that I had. Ain't no way in hell. Like, they're in the single player on it, all those type of things. And we were battling 8-8, just scrapping to get to 500. This team right here is built to go the distance. And number one, how are you going to do it? Well, you have to have a franchise quarterback. We all know that. Well, if you're drafting right now, I'm not sure you take anybody over Josh Allen. He's definitely in the top 3 if he ain't number 1 with Patrick Mahomes and that Herbert kid. But, he's absolutely phenomenal. You look at the weapons they have around him. The receiving core, Stephon Diggs was a great move they did. But the thing that I'm most impressed with is their defense. And they took an area of weakness. They couldn't stop anybody from running the ball on them last year. So what do? They bring in, they add Settle, they get the Phillips back, and that big Jordan Phillips, a great player for Buffalo. He can't play for anybody else, but he is lights out for Buffalo. And then you also bring in Von Miller. Oh, by the way, he's done. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? He's done? All he's going to do is rush the passer on 3rd down and in the 4th quarter and in 2-minute situations? Good luck. He's a closer. That's exactly what you need to do to win in this league. You got to be able to rush the passer in the 4th quarter of games. That's what they fixed. They fixed the run defense. Look, they were number 1 in the league last year in defense. Well, how are they going to do now? Like, they're even better in that. Their depth is incredible. That defensive line depth, it reminded me of the old Niners back in the Bill Walsh days when he had 10 defensive linemen dressed for games when nobody else was, having 5 or 6 dress. He had 10. Why? Because you got to, and he was a strange mentor of mine, but Bill Walsh actually was. And he always said, you've got to be able to rush the passer in the fourth quarter. So you need pass rushers. Well, Buffalo's got it. And I tell you what, the only question I think they had going in was how good the new offensive coordinator was going to be, Dorsey.
He's good.
Well, he might be better than the other cat. They just replaced. So that looked pretty damn good to me. They were absolutely impressive.
We'll talk to Jordan Poyer in about 45 minutes here. Can't wait to chat.
Oh, my God. Both those safeties, man.
Hey, no Pro Bowlers. No Pro Bowlers last year. Isn't that crazy? On that defense. None.
Yeah, the number 1 defense in the league and no Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
They should have put Leslie Frazier in there if that's the case. Hey, Leslie, you know what? You're the defensive coordinator. You're the number 1 defense. You had no players. You're doing it with no players at all. You go to the damn Pro Bowl and represent this team. But, yeah, no, players are fan. No, you take both those safeties, stick them in the Pro Bowl. Those guys are awesome. But I think they're not going to be able to play in it anyway because they're going to be going to the Super Bowl this year.
I think we all think that. And that's kind of a scary thing, that everybody is in agreement on something in the NFL, because we all know the NFL is full of fuckery. But that team, they have the mindset, too. Like, we haven't won shit. And I think it's because that no Pro Bowlers. Josh Allen, although he is a guy, a superstar now, he started out with a lot of people bashing him. So that'll be with him forever, I think. Like Stephon Diggs was on here last week. He said you couldn't even tell that we're the fucking odds-on favorite anymore. Like that's the mentality that you want. And Von Miller's hearing it too, and he could be the first guy to go 3 different teams and win. I mean, I think we're all in agreement, Rex, and I'm pumped to watch this motherfucker. They go. Let's talk about another team your name has ties to. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles with your dad. And whenever you went and did the show live for ESPN in Philly, it was a cool moment watching you do the chanting alongside of them and everything. That team, they seem to have dogs, Rex. I like this mentality of these younger coaches almost. Like, hey, we need dudes at spots. Do you kind of enjoy this new evolution of coaching and team building strategy, especially in Philadelphia with what they're looking for?
Yeah, no, I still like the old guys because I'm still waiting for that phone call, Pat, but to come back in. But, no, I absolutely do. And my son, he's coaching now 6 years in the NFL. Hopefully he'll be one of these new young cats that get promoted down the road. And because you're almost like, where'd this guy come from? Well, when Sirianni was with the Chargers for all those years, and he's done a hell of a job. He's got a lot of young coaches on his staff. And it's an exciting brand of football. And the thing I like most about what Nick Sirianni did was he took what his quarterback, what his strengths are, and he utilized them. He lets that quarterback be himself. And, hey, look, you're a terrific runner. Take off, man. You feel it? Take off. You don't have to sit in the pocket all damn day. And Jalen Hurts is a dang good football player. People forget, Tua did beat out Jalen Hurts, but only after the fact. Jalen Hurts was a 2-time Southeast Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Like, he's pretty damn good. Could have won the Heisman at Oklahoma. So, he lets him do his thing, and I think they're an exciting team. They got a big, strong offensive line and a good defense. But I will say this: they were challenged last week.
Late, right? Late.
Yeah, late, and Detroit ran the hell out of the football. And so I'm like, holy cow, maybe Detroit's going to be good too, so we'll see.
What do you think about the change of the game here? Now, you just talked about running the ball and being damn good on the ground. How do you feel about the evolution of football? You're an old school guy. Now, I'm not saying you're an old school guy because you've been around a long time. It just feels like you're with the greats whenever the conversation happened. The Ryan family is like one of the staples of football. I'm happy to hear your son, 3rd generation in the NFL. That's awesome.
No doubt.
Congratulations. But what do you think about the evolution of football right now? It's obviously for science and for safety. It's wide open. It affects defensive football the most, which we know you absolutely love.
Yeah, it does. But I still think it's for the betterment of our game and, protecting our players. This game is about our players. And that's what everybody loves to watch. And let's protect them with still having the greatest game it is. Like, look, this is one of the only sports that takes courage to play. And courage to me is not you're crazy. No, courage is you're scared, but you go anyway. Like, that's football, man. Like, it's tough. It is a physical ass game, and you got to love it. But I love the new game. And look, it's still 11 on 11. You still get after the quarterback. You can still knock the hell out of people. You just can't hit them in the head anymore.
Which, back in the day, used to be quite a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
We have AJ Hawk on here, every day.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, it has taken him a little bit here to change the name of, to helmet. He used to just say it was a weapon. Like, that was literally what he taught. Yeah, that ride there, you get that big heavy one. You get one of those lighter ones, you can't really hit anybody with. You get that heavy one, you're trying to, it's a weapon.
For the
If
jaw.
I'm not hitting with my head, what am I doing? Now the game is just, and it's been pretty quick, like 15 years almost. The next generation, though, of players is in, and they understand, they get it. Like these Guardian caps, Coach, did you see those things?
Dude, I know they look horrible, but here's the great thing, Pat. I went to my kid was playing at Clemson. I went there, and they all had them. And so I called the NFL and said, hey, should we put these things on our guys for training camp? And, of course, they looked at me, and anything I suggested, they're like, oh, Rex Ryan's calling? What?
Get that out
Come
of
on.
here.
Yeah, right now, we ain't doing that shit. Boom. Now we're all doing it. So good for them, man. Prevent some of those concussions and things like that. It's great. Keep our guys healthy.
I think the game is growing still somehow 103 years into this or whatever it is. And I mean, 25.1 million average viewers on that Tampa Cowboys game. And that game was boring.
Boring.
That was a boring game out there. How do you feel about Tom coming back? Greatest of all time. I assume everybody's in agreement of that. Him coming back.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to change anything down in Tampa? You think they can go on a run?
I think they can go on a run, but I think it's going to be based on good, like Godwin. If he gets back healthy, remember he had the hamstring. Because I looked out there, I'm like, who the hell is he throwing to? Mike Evans is a great player, but they had nobody else really. So I think as long as he comes back healthy, they'll still have a shot.
You like Tom? You've been away from the game here for a little bit, and you just said you'd go back and be a head coach again. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's make that happen. Coaches are getting fired at a lot more alarming rate nowadays because you can't just be okay with losing because social media and everything. Let's get Rex back in the league. But when you left,
there you go, Pat.
Hey, when you left the game, was it hard? Was it difficult? I think guys that are lifers, it becomes much more difficult coaching, playing, and I think Tom experienced that for 40 days. He was almost lost. It feels like. It sounds like at this point.
Yeah, it really is, because when you are a football lifer, it really is. But the one thing about, and Pat, when we went into this media deal, I got up with, ESPN and doing that Sunday countdown show. So you still have your fix. And the fact, I have a son that now going in his 6th year in the NFL and my brother. So I'm still connected that way. But yeah, you miss the competition, man. You miss the locker room. You miss all that. And but I'll be honest, it's funny. I never knew there'd be life after football, but I enjoy what I'm doing right now. And I'm not getting back in this league. Obviously, you go anywhere to be a head coach, but I'm not going to jump in to be a coordinator or whatever unless it was, they had to pay me a ton of money. That would be the only way you get back. But I like what I'm doing. And Pat, let's not forget. One of the things I'm doing is I'm a partner with Dr. Scholes, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Rex, this is brilliant. And these are things that you can do now that you're in the media space and everybody sees how awesome you are. Obviously, we knew from Hard Knocks in your press conferences how electrifying you were. But in the media, I feel like getting to know you as a person for the conversations off air. I came back and told the boys, I'm like, hey, Rex is one of the coolest motherfuckers of all time. And then I think I talked to you at that point about getting on social. I'm like, Rex, you got to get on social. I'm like, the first wave of people that are going to tweet you, you're going to have to get through that. You're going to have to get through the first wave. But all they're going to attack you for is what you've embraced fully. This is brilliant. Yeah. Now, I know athlete's foot is a problem that people don't like to talk about. Nope. Having your foot be irritated or uncomfortable is something nobody likes to chat about. So Dr. Scholes and Rex Ryan have come together to create a new instant cool athlete treatment spray and wipes. Not only do they have this incredible product, they're also teaming up with the host of TLC's My Feet Are killing me. Dr. Brad Schaefer to really address and promote like good feet health. I think this is it's great for you. Obviously, the tie-in is amazing. How did this come together, and how pumped are you about this? I assume it's pretty exciting.
I mean, it's cool. But when they first called, Pat, I'm like, yeah, right. Like somebody's busting my chops here. You know what I mean? Like, no, we got this great product, and they actually sent it to me, and I'm like, all right. And anybody's had athletes, but it's like, oh, hell, that burns like hell, whatever. This stuff I spray, I'm like, damn, this thing's pretty good. I'm like, oh, I'm in. Like, we're going to do this. And look, it's funny, Pat, because I spent 30 years coaching or whatever. But there, in some circles, I'm known as that. That's the coach that has the foot fetish or whatever. I'm like, yep, that's me, mother. You're damn right I do. And I'm guilty. And look, my wife is gorgeous. She's got gorgeous feet. But when Dr. Scholl's called, I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Like they're choosing me.
It is.
But they're like explaining why. They're like, Rex, two things and they said, well, I was uniquely qualified to do it. And I'm like, yes, I can do this, man, because I'm an expert in football and I'm an expert in feet. So what the hell, I'm going to do it. And I flat out own it. And it's I remember, Pat, going into a stadium. We're going in to play New England. And all that stuff came out. Remember Wes Welker was busting my chops, everything else. And I come out, and they all got these things out, posters on something on the feet and all that type of jazz. And I'm like, oh, great, this is fantastic. And some fan yells, hey, coach, what do you think of my girlfriend's feet? And I'm like, man, I'm just going to ignore it. And I'm like, nah, I'll look over it. I glance over. I'm like, they look pretty good, doing all right. But either way, it's just one of those things. But when Dr. Scholl's called, I'm like,
what if you would have said,
like, here it is. Like, here's the funny thing, Pat, it's the number one, Dr. Scholl's the best of the best, the best foot product company, in the world. And they're like asking me to do it. I'm like, okay, dude,
hey,
let's go for it. But
Coach,
it's kind of a cool thing.
Coach, they're the best foot, company. You are the best foot spokesperson in the history of anything. And I love the fact that you're owning it completely. I like that the New England fans gave it to you because that's what sports are. That's what it's supposed to be. But I do wish you would have looked at that lady's feet and said, fucking busted ass feet. It would have been awesome.
Pat, I would have. If they were jacked up, I would have said it. But I'm like, man, they look pretty good. They're clearly not as good as my wife's feet, but, man, they're pretty good.
Key features of the new you're the best, by the way. Your teeth look amazing, too. I mean, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're living.
I put Dr. Scholl's on those, too.
You're the best. Key features of the new Dr. Scholl's Instant Cool Athlete's Foot Treatment and Spray and Wipes. Itching and burning relief. How you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
Clinically proven to relieve and prevent athlete's foot with daily use. How you doing? Added cooling versus current spray solutions with no powdery residue. Big deal. Easy to use and convenient. No need to touch the feet.
Nice.
Relief for cracking and scaling of skin on feet and toes. Full coverage with between the toe application. You can literally head to drscholls.com right now or purchase it anywhere. Dr. Scholl's Instant Cool Athlete's Foot Treatments are available. Hey, you're the man. Thank you for everything.
Pat, you're the man, and thank you so much for having me on there. Man, am I glad you read that stuff off because, all I know is this product is outstanding, and thank you for getting it out there for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Ryer.
Hilarious.
The best.
Yeah.
That's a company that gets it. Dr. Scholl's.
Yes, that's right.
That's a company, do you ever hear me read somebody's entire thing?
No, never.
Never. But the fact that they said, yeah, this is the right move, I would feel like I should say thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Scholl.
Because that is that is brilliant.
Yeah, it's genius. And
that
you were
is
pumped to read that.
Pumped. Yeah. Yes. Actually, print it out, please. I would like to read it. There's more that we could really dive into. Dr. Brad Schaefer's fucking yoga.
Oh, my
Ashley's
God.
brother.
This dude is full on. No, he's not. Woo! No, he's not.
Oh, what?
I think he's from LA. I don't think he's from Carolina, which I'll be heading to this weekend.
That's right.
Heading down Boone, North Carolina for Appalachian State. Let's go get weird in those hills, baby.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to get down there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Now, I have heard it is quite a voyage to get there.
What?
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot of flat land for airports where necessarily that is, because it's down through the hills and down yonder.
Plane, trains, and automobiles.
You thought about maybe just like base jumping into the set on Saturday?
Like Tom,
Yeah.
like TC.
Like TC, little halo jump, little low altitude. Just hey, get me 200 feet above the set, and I'll let this thing rip.
So the one thing I can't do is I can't do a rope thing.
Sure. From a
Rope.
chopper.
Yeah, I can't do the rope climb.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to get rope burn.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
So
Makes
maybe
sense.
I do put me over a lake. I assume there's a lake down there. Has
Gotta
to
be.
be.
Have to.
Put me in a lake. I will swanton into lake out of chopper. Now I can't swim that well, so gonna need boats very close.
Well, and it'd need to be pretty low because if you swanton out of a chopper into a lake at about 200 feet, your body's gonna explode like glass.
Yeah.
no, I'm flat.
Break your back.
Oh, you fly back?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It'll be a good ball.
Okay.
Okay.
It'll be a good
Never
ball.
mind.
Oh, you're saying I should pencil?
Maybe, yeah, probably. But you might hit the bottom of the lake.
We'll watch a bunch of Tom Cruise videos to really see how I should do it. I think the proper way is actually belly flop. If I watch America's Got Talent right, there was one wild white that was up there real high and did a belly flop from, this is going to sound absurd, but like 100 feet into like 6 inches of water.
I've seen that in the little kiddie pools.
Yeah, and it's because the belly flop has the ability to absorb the entirety of your body. You don't have to go in as deep.
Like a cat.
Boom. Bingo.
Okay.
Well, I think a cat opens like a parachute to slow herself, the cat down as well. That is something else that a cat does.
And the shoulder
In
muscles.
this situation, are you getting a chopper from the airport?
Sounds like I'm going to have to, right? I mean, I'm not going to take a chopper from Indy to North Carolina.
No.
Might as well
Unless it's
fucking
an
drive
Apache.
if I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, probably no chopper now that I think about it.
Okay.
All right, let's get to a break. Actually, let's take some phone calls on the 500 phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll take a break in a little bit because we are close to the end of the hour. We're kind of in the middle of a bounce right here. AJ Hawk will join us in the second hour, as will Jordan Poyer, stud safety for the Buffalo Bills. The undefeated Buffalo Bills will join us in about 28 minutes or so. Can't wait to chat with him.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
How about Rex Ryan just breaking down everything? I
yeah.
forgot that is he still on that countdown? Yeah.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome on
Was
TV.
Fitz on Monday?
Yeah, he was last night.
Fitz.
Larry.
Yeah, he caught a pass from Steve. So Randy Moss no longer Larry Fitzgerald in.
He's doing. Randy's still on Sunday.
Not to him Monday. Got it.
Yeah, he's doing
That's
Jim
why we're
Gray.
not seeing him on the field catching the balls.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's doing Sunday with Hasselbeck, Teddy Bruschi, Ponder,
And I assume Rex.
Yeah, same
and,
crew as
and
last.
Shefty and Rex.
Right.
And then Monday night now is RG3
Race the Hawk.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boog needs to stop hating.
Yeah.
Hey, Boog, listen, I'm big Boog fan.
Sure.
But you were clearly hating on RG3 right there.
Can't have it.
He beat that fucking up.
He was
gliding. Not just striding. He was gliding. He looked very good. He's a track star, I guess, though, so that's something
Yeah.
you never lose.
Right.
How about that suit? That suit should be being marketed. That's like when Steve Nash was crossing people up in a
Correct,
suit
yeah.
on social media.
Sports suit.
RG didn't even sweat. It looked like he didn't
No.
even break a sweat that
He
dude.
looked good.
Yeah, he
What
was
an
moving.
athlete. He's going to the Cowboys, he said.
Yeah, well, the Hawk was slowing down. I feel like we should have been a 5-yard, grace period before
I
the
understand what
person
you're
was
saying.
standing
The thing
there.
has fucking wings.
No,
what
I
are
know.
we even?
I know.
What are we
It's also a
talking
good
about?
point.
But it has to slow down at the end. That's why.
Here, as we are starting to see more things pop up in the sky that we can't identify.
Sure.
We're not allowed to.
Well,
Would be a
Navy
threat
said,
to our national
don't
security.
put it out, yeah.
that's what the Navy said. Yeah, we don't need these dumbs knowing what's up there.
Which means
Okay, because all these dumbs that are looking up at clouds, they think they're seeing just water and all that. And when we
no
let them know
idea.
that ain't water, that ain't causing the rain. By the way,
war in the sky.
those are just all UFOs, and they're just taking our water. Actually.
Yeah.
Water's going the opposite
They
way.
can't handle it.
Don't tell them.
Makes sense.
Don't talk to him about it.
Or heritage.
Talk to him about aliens.
I brought up Marty on College Game Day.
He was very thankful.
He loved it.
I was pretty excited to even get that reference in. I forget where I was going with what's up in the sky. Who were we talking
Talking
about?
about Hawks
Aliens,
racing.
Hawks.
Oh,
RG3.
yes.
Oh, Hawks race.
Humans need to get as many wins as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we beat a fucking hawk last night. Let's celebrate it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, RG3, for getting a win over something that isn't a human, which is a hawk, because I do fear that at some point, something that isn't a human might beat us in a lot of stuff.
Hopefully
Lambda.
we
Safe
can
to
use
say.
their technology, though. We're not getting anything from Hawks.
Lambda's
Unfortunately.
lightning.
Lambda actually real slow. Is Lambda a part of this whole phone operation?
Good question.
I hope
I
it-
hope not.
Yeah.
New phone coming out Friday. Steve Jobs' daughter said, "Meh." Waste of money.
Yeah.
Well, let's remember that
Well,
she
she knows.
hates her
Fucking
dad because he
jobs.
was a bad dad. So I would assume she's trying to tank.
She
Terrible
wasn't
dad.
in the room telling
Terrible
the
dad.
engineers
We'll say
to
it.
make it big and make it little. She doesn't know.
It might just be the same phone, but it works really well, which would be nice.
Which would make me buy 10 of them if I had to.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, terrible dad, quite a pioneer, though.
Yeah,
He's very good.
Pretty demanding. I guess a
me
lot
a
of people
phone.
would say with the way he ran his operation.
So is Jordan.
Hell yeah.
So was basically any
They
great.
got
you've ever
Jordan
heard.
last night. You think they had to pay him for that?
That was sweet.
Jordan,
Michael Jordan for
Sunday
the.
night.
he's been cutting a bunch of promos about
Or no,
Tom.
that was Sunday night. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about Tom. Talking about being great. He actually recorded that when they got done playing pickup basketball in the Bahamas in that one.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Tom and MJ just go play pickup basketball against
right.
randoms
That was 10 faces ago for Tom.
down there on Billy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
See, this is what we're talking about.
Whoa.
This is what Seattle did to Russ last night.
Whoa. Hey, that's not, banter. That is just strictly because NFL Throwback will post every photo that Tom has had since he was a rookie in the NFL.
Okay. Well, speaking of NFL Throwback and NFL owned and operated things, our clip with NFL Films this week is going to be good.
Change the game.
I think so.
It's banger.
It's awesome.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to get it. Hopefully we took care of the supply chain issue.
Yeah,
How's
that'd
that
be nice.
going?
I think it did, by the way. I think
Today was better.
I think we did handle the supply chain issue. We had Seattle Seahawks highlights earlier as
right.
we were chit-chatting about them. Fox News put them up there. We
saw
look
them?
like a real show.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Not even stealing those.
No.
Oh, those are earned.
Yeah.
stealing
from the
yesterday
supply
either.
chain.
Well, we kind of were ripping yesterday, but we weren't stealing.
Yes.
In the past, we had ripped and stolen, and then immediate strike on channel, Dahn.
Bingo.
Yesterday, we ripped, but we owned it at the time.
Yeah.
So the person, we should be pissed off at the person that put it up there, actually. We should tell them, hey, we had to pay a lot
you're
of money.
stealing. You didn't pay
You're
for this.
stealing. You didn't pay. Yeah, so we should be doing that. But we won't because we've been there one time before.
Yeah,
right.
we understand.
And we understand completely. It sucks.
It's a tough game.
It is great whenever we don't have we're not going to get just taken down because of what we did there earlier.
Yeah.
Exactly. And having those run while talking about them is pretty
Like
cool.
we have highlights from this weekend. We have a video of Justin Fields celebrating in the monsoon that is absolutely epic. And in the past, we'd only be able to use that one photo that Schefter tweeted out that was awesome. Now we get a chance to just go ahead and say, take a knee, Justin Fields. Welcome to a brand new era of Chicago Bears football. Eberflus is leading the boys to a fun, successful, motivated, inspired brand of football. And we saw that at Soldier Field, which we'll be moving on from in a couple years to go to Arlington. But one last epic memory for Bears fans to cherish forever.
Hell yeah.
We're able to do that.
Yeah, now all
That
the
was
debates, for the rest of the week will be, did the Niners make the wrong pick and not get Justin Fields? Because Justin Fields just beat Trey Lance, so what's that about?
That was one of the storylines going into week one. It was quite a reach because there was a lot of other actual storylines, but that was certainly one of them there for week one. The Trey Lance, Jimmy G thing is getting interesting because Kyle Shanahan had a press conference, a virtual press conference, where he was asked about maybe the Dallas Cowboys being interested in Jimmy Garoppolo being their quarterback after Dak Prescott, who Jerry Jones has said this morning on 104.3 The Fan in Dallas that I'm not putting Dak on IR because I think he's fucking ass can come back in within 4 weeks.
Hell yeah.
If you put him on IR, he's got to be out for at least 4 weeks. Now, back in the day, it wasn't always like that. We changed this rule because of COVID just a couple of years ago. We're going to stick with it because it made the game better. But fucking Dak, with that Bennett fracture on his thumb, although they're saying 6 to 8 weeks, that's what doctors are saying. My doctors are telling me, because I only like good news. All news is good news. My doctors are telling me that 6 to 8 weeks is for the normal, basic-ass motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
That ain't what the guy we got. We got Dak Prescott. His surgery went clean. It went fine. And we think he's going to be back within 4 weeks. So maybe the Dallas Cowboys aren't even thinking about trading for anybody. But Kyle Shanahan was asked if the Dallas Cowboys were to reach out, what would Kyle Shanahan say? This is what he had to say in response.
Kyle, does Dak Prescott's injury open up a potential trade avenue for Jimmy G, or are you at this point planning to keep him around?
Just like all players, and we'll listen to anybody and anything. That never changes for any player. So, or coach. So we'll always listen to anybody.
So what does that mean?
Okay.
I mean, George Kittle could be an Indianapolis Colt.
Or
Yeah,
New England Patriots.
sounds like
Does
it.
it mean Debo Samuel could be an Indianapolis Colt?
Green Bay
Packer.
Does it sound like Brandon Ayuk can go ahead and join the Indianapolis
Sure.
Colts?
Big chance.
So I like the fact that he said, hey, we're always open. And I think that's because he's grown up in an NFL family. He's been on a bunch of different teams. You'd be stupid not to listen. If somebody's going to make you an offer, you're going to have to. Now, we've seen that type of mindset affect relationships between quarterback and team in the past. It just came up the other day when Russell Wilson said that he hated the fact that the GM was going to Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen and all these pro days. He said, you got a guy. Why are you wasting time on quarterbacks? We need other things. This potentially also happened when Aaron Rodgers found out that the Green Bay Packers had spent so much of their offseason rating and judging a quarterback that they wanted to trade up into the first round for the first time in a long time to take another quarterback. You'd be natural to think that maybe Aaron Rodgers thought to himself, we were in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
We obviously need a weapon or two. We need a little bit maybe on defense. And we're spending time looking at quarterbacks, pro days, and investing time in that instead of something else. Not saying Aaron said that. We're just saying that could be a natural thought for a quarterback, for a player. The Niners, I guess, are just very open with everybody. We will listen to every single phone call that takes place.
They're not going to trade Jimmy G, right?
Not now. I don't think they can.
I mean, after last night, too, Seattle looked pretty damn good, and the Niners got Seattle next week. They lose to Seattle. They're 0-2.
Seattle, I'm so fascinated by that team.
Yeah.
What if they go? We don't know.
No,
hey,
no.
week one.
Yeah. Hey, they're in first now.
We have no idea. Just like the Colts, undefeated. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Alex and Dayton on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Alex?
Okay.
Right out.
That's Ohio. Let's go to Jacob in North Carolina. What's going on, Jacob?
Hey, how you doing, Pat McAfee?
Hey, not bad, Jacob.
I'm an Appalachian State fan.
Here we
I'll
go.
see you in Boone.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
I'm really happy to be here.
Hey, you okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
right.
But you'll probably fly an hour way into Hickory where I live, and then take an hour ride up to Boone, which is a spectacular view of the mountains. So that's probably where you're going to go.
Oh, so you're telling me that if I'm taking on that ride, it's going to be beautiful. I should maybe head up to the altitudes to enjoy that whole thing.
It is very beautiful. They have a part where you can pull over and it has all the mountains in the background. It's a beautiful sight.
Oh, thank you, Jacob. Can't wait to get there. Can't wait to see you in Boone, pal. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in 5 with old AJ Hawk for hour 2. Jordan Poyer will join us then. There's a lot of things to talk about, okay? A lot of updates on injuries, a lot of updates on timelines, a lot of potential conversations about what teams are going to be around in the end that matter. More phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. Music ain't working.
No. What's going on? Music.
This place is falling apart.
It is. Perfect timing.
There it is.
There it is.
So nothing happened. It just came
I
on.
looked over, nothing happened. That's the craziest thing. It's a ghost.
There's ghosts in the system.
Yeah, studio knows. Maybe it's a little bumped. You know.
Hey, don't hold this against us. We've had a good run.
Yeah. Great run.
Don't haunt us because we're leaving. Smile because it happened.
Bingo.
That's right.
Fucking
You think
lame.
I was talking shit on the computer earlier?
Huh?
You think I was talking shit on the computer earlier?
Yeah, we did a little lambda shit talk there. Oh, you're talking about me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 minutes before we went live.
Yeah.
We're not taking this basic ass, bum ass, bitch ass.
What?
That's what we said.
The music would have stopped right there. That would have been hilarious.
What?
What the fuck you say to me?
Thank God we're moving on from this.
Yeah, seriously.
That thing was made in 1880.
I'm really excited for everybody to see the Thunderdome.
You should destroy that thing with the sledgehammer when we move out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Off the top of the helicopter, I'll swanton.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
That's awesome. The Thunderdome is going to be bananas.
Incredible.
That's awesome.
It is. Yesterday was the first time I saw an actual reasoning to say, yeah, we'll go in there next Monday.
Hell yeah.
Now, I've been told by the people that are putting it together who are working their asses off, and I appreciate. But they lied right to my face about 4 or 5 times.
Sure.
We go live tomorrow.
Go
they
right
said.
now.
Can't have that.
Like, there's no seats.
Folding tables up.
There's 0 microphones connected. We have no... Oh, we could... I get it. Like, we could if we...
Sit in a circle and
If we plug the camera in. With
the mic.
Like, I get it. I understand. I appreciate how hard you're working. There's been a lot of problems that have led up to this issue to get us to this point. We will delay another week if that'll help out everybody. And I heard a big...
Oh, Jesus God.
Thank God. So we'll be in there hopefully on Monday. It's going to be a massive... That place is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Very lucky. Very pumped for it. Thankful for everybody's hard work. It's taken a lot of shit to get to this point. But it should make us better.
Oh,
Made it.
Had 76,000 concurrents yesterday.
No big deal.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's change the studio and change everything.
That's right.
Makes sense.
50-some thousand. That's exactly all right. Take 5.
Take
Find
5.
something. 5. Need 5. Secession won the Emmy for best show.
Hell yeah. Best drama.
Sudeikis.
Need 5.
5.
Dear Coach Freeman, I hope this letter finds you well. Although if I had to guess, it probably won't, because that was one of the most embarrassing defeats Notre Dame has faced in my lifetime. I mean, for Christ's sake, was Chad Pennington playing? Was Randy Moss playing? Was Matthew McConaughey coaching? No, they weren't. It was a bunch of guys we've never fucking heard of, and you still couldn't get it done. Now listen, you're 0-3 to start, which isn't the end of the world. But everyone in the Notre Dame community, they're fucking done with you, okay? I'm not done with you yet. I have a lot of faith in what you can do with those boys. But let me tell you right now, if you lose next week to California, I might be fucking done with you. I hate to say it, but Joe Montana is not walking back through that door, and neither is Jeff Samardzija. Your quarterback's hurt, so you're going to have to find somebody else. I've noticed that you haven't reached out to old Coach Lou to come in and either do the fucking newspaper trick or to do the bumblebee speech. Let me remind you, the previous guy never asked me to do that kind of stuff either. And look what fucking happened to him.
I don't think it has anything to do with winning.
I'll leave you with this. If I need to come in to Notre Dame Stadium, get a megaphone, and start singing cheer for on Notre Dame, wake up, DJ, go singing her name, I'll sing the whole goddamn fight song and get the boys going. Because like I said, if you start losing more consistently, you're going to be fucking deader than a doornail. I love you, I'm available, and please write back. With love, Coach Lou Holtz.
You know, it's just like I'm frustrated with flying cars because I'm obsessed with that. Like, I want a flying car.
Hey, me too.
What I got is my phone instead. It's like, well, the future is on your phone really right now. It's not like literally in front of you. You can't get into a flying car. But, you know, your phone has it all. It's like, I don't want this phone. I'm not going to have this phone 14 hours a day like you young people do. No, thank you. Like, I'm not from that generation. But, you know, give me a flying car. You know? and honestly, when we shut down the Mars missions, you know, we were supposed to be going in 2024, and we shut it down. But a lot of people don't realize is, you know, from here to the moon is 208,000 miles roughly. You know, 200. So you can think about that. Well, in this country, you know, a long road trip could be 4,000 miles, and you know how far it is to Australia. You know, so 200,000 miles. You know, that you think about that, and you know that's far. But like Mars, think about this, is 250 million miles. 250 million miles. So, you know, that's a little different thing because, you know, when you go, you know, it takes about anywhere from, you know, 9 to 11 months to get there, depending on the alignment.
Are you going to fucking
and so,
Jim, are you going to Mars? It sounds like you're...
I wish I was. You know, maybe you'll have, I think you have a chance to do a show from there when you're 80, Pat.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Hour 2 on this unprecedented episode 1 of season 3, Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, begins now. Football is all the way back. Got a chance to chat about the Monday Night Football matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks that saw Russell Wilson return to his home that we've seen him in the NFL for his entire career. He got booed going onto the field for warm-ups and going onto the field for the games, and he got an L on the way out of Seattle, but he was wearing a tuxedo and threw for 340 yards and a touchdown. So, what does that mean going forward about the Denver Broncos? We do not know. We do know that the Seattle Seahawks defense was opportunistic, a couple goal line stands, 2 turnovers in that. 3 points was all that was had by the Denver Broncos and 3 trips inside the Seattle Seahawks 5. That was obviously the turn of the tide. And also, Geno Smith was lights. What an absolute stallion of a game by him, a performance by him, and it felt like all of Seattle wanted that one, which had to feel good for Pete Carroll, John Schneider, and everybody in the Seahawks universe.
Absolutely.
The Toxic Tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. We talked to Rex Ryan in the last hour. He loves feet.
Yes, he does.
He is teamed up with Dr. Scholes, who also loves feet.
Yes,
to
they do.
take care of a problem that everybody potentially has at one point or another in their life. Athlete's foot or a little bit of an infection in between your toes. The discomfort, the burn, the itch is no fun. Dr. Scholes took care of that with Rex Ryan. I loved that those two came together for a marketing opportunity. Dr. Scholes saw everything that was happening, and instead of saying, we don't want to talk to this guy. Instead, they said, give us this guy.
That's our guy.
Give us the football expert.
Yep.
Give us the foot expert.
Right.
Give us the athlete expert.
Right.
And he can be the guy that can represent our brand new instant cool athlete foot solution.
Sounds
Hell
awesome.
yeah. Match made in heaven.
Shout out to Dr. Scholes for that. Joining us now is a man who I know loved that.
Oh, yeah.
A man who won a college football national championship, a Super Bowl championship, a Ryder Cup championship. He is a quarterback on the field when he was playing middle linebacker and tackling people with his forehead on every single play. So much so he became the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Now, he's a two-time COVID-19 survivor. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall. AJ, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. I think what some young people may have forgotten is Wes Welker he was held out of the first half of a game because of his comments and his deadpan delivery when he was making comments about Rex Ryan and his whole foot situation.
I completely forgot about him being suspended for a half by Bill Belichick, but in a weekly press conference going into a Jets game, he basically did a whole, we're going to put our best foot forward. Whenever you're talking about getting out of bed and putting 2 feet on the ground, you're going to do this. Because shortly before that, it came out that Rex Ryan and his wife are very active participants in the foot fetish community.
Sure. That's right.
They're producers, they're editors, they're actors, they're a part of the whole thing. And obviously, instead of just, being embarrassed by it, Rex Ryan now has chosen to be like, yeah, fuck off. There's a lot of people probably in that community. None that I know, but Rex is one of them, and I assume there's others that just haven't told me because of the stigma that is potentially alongside of it. So shout out to Dr. Scholes and Rex Ryan in this hour, 6 minutes. We'll be talking to Jordan Poyer. Can't wait to chat with him. AJ, we're talking to you right now about last night's Monday Night Football game. Did you get a chance to watch the entire thing? Was it the Manning cast? Was it Joe Buck and Troy? And how did you feel about how the game went, AJ?
It was nice, actually. I got to watch the whole thing. I watched Joe and Troy, and then I went back and I watched the best of Peyton and Eli and their whole situation this morning on YouTube, which they're great, man. Honestly, I love both those guys together. And their guests, they're awesome. But Joe and Troy, too, I feel like they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I like Joe and Troy. I like that, the telestrator wasn't working, and instead of just calling it quits, Troy goes, telestrator ain't working. So the people he used to work with, because that's somebody's job. Okay?
Yeah, probably a couple people's.
Well, Yeah, you're right. Probably a couple
Big old
people
crew. Monday Night Football, they got about 80 people on that crew, I bet.
solely focus on this, making sure this is plugged in. You're solely focused on this, make sure this is happening. It's almost, we don't do anything like that at all, and I don't think it's an efficient way to do things at all, but allegedly it's the way to get the best things done because you have so many eyes on so many little details, and the little things lead to the big thing. So if you take care of every little thing, you'll take care of the big thing. Sometimes it's difficult in those big productions, though, to get a hold of the right fucking person that you need just for something. Like, hey, what about the, whoa, that's, yeah, you got to
Not me.
Well, you're doing the,
No, it's completely different.
what? No, you're doing the,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
doing the other thing.
Not today.
I'm not doing that.
okay,
last
well,
week I
if
did.
you were just to happen to be doing the,
I wouldn't know. I would have no idea. Don't ask me.
all right, well, where is the,
I don't know.
I don't know. Figure it
stop fucking asking me questions.
there's a chance that could happen. Now, I'm not talking about in my experience with TV. That actually happened at a couple of the theaters that we did shows at because the person that controls the lights for the house doesn't control the lights for the stage, let alone potentially asking the person that needs to move the drapes who that's a they
Union.
needed 20. That person needed 20.
Yeah, they did.
They were not around for the exact time that we needed them to do the thing. So that was on us, not on them. And we did apologize to them for that. You know, we apologize that we rented this theater, that we were doing this show, and we were being forced to use you as a worker, and that at the exact time that you wanted to go smoke your 50th cigarette, that we actually need you just to move that thing. Because we could have done it ourselves, but we were told we're literally not allowed
Can't
to.
do it. Don't touch it. Don't fucking touch it.
Okay, made the show much worse, but we are sorry that we did that happen to us. But in the TV thing, there's experts for everything, and that's why we just got Zito.
That's right.
Sure.
Hey, Zito.
That's done.
Hey, Zito, how can we get this thing to be over there, right? Well, I don't
Calculating.
think. No, yeah, Zito at first will go, I don't know. And I'm like, well, there has to be a way.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Figure it out.
all right, here we go. So in theory, there's always in theory, we could connect. I'm going to need like 4 or 5 wires. Like, can we get them? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Get it?
All right, let's do it. And then whenever those big networks that have all those experts for every little thing, all those people have to chat with Zito, and they have to prove how smart they are, right, in every conversation that they have. No, but this most recent time with ESPN, it has not been like that at all, by the way. This most recent time with ESPN, it has been awesome. It has been very cool.
Wow.
But I'm not talking about just ESPN. I'm talking about every network we have ever worked with for anything ever, and we are a part of it. There's always, I'm smarter than you, you're an idiot, and Zito has to talk to every single person. So I'd assume the Telestrator people heard about it, and the blame was on somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
But it probably was somebody else's fault. But I think Troy and Joe did well. I think they did well. Yeah. Picked up right where they left off. They let it breathe at the beginning, and the game was a good one. I mean, I didn't expect that game to go that way at all. We all picked the Broncos. Obviously, the Seahawks saw that. They heard about it. They probably used that as motivation. But that didn't go anywhere near the way I thought it was going to. Do you know Hackett as a person? He's getting killed right now, AJ.
I don't know him at all. I've never met him. I just know how highly all the Packers guys speak of Hackett. Like, they love the dude. So
you calling time
think
out?
that's still there? Think that goodwill is still there with everybody?
No, I don't know about with the Broncos fans. I don't know if the Packers players loving him are going to go
Does
over.
does everybody just not like Russ out there in Seattle? Nobody likes him or what?
No, I saw some people cheering. You saw there was
I'm
Broncos.
talking just like everything online and everything going on. Was this something known before the game? All of this weird animosity?
So there's those anonymous sources, remember, 2 years ago, when he had allegedly asked for a trade, and Team 3 was upset about the offensive line, the way the offense was running, and also if they were to be traded, not that they're asking to be traded, they would go to Miami, Chicago, Denver, I guess, and New York they would go to. Not that they're asking for a trade, but if they were to, those would be the cities. So then no deal was to be had, but during that entire process, there was anonymous Team 3 sources, and then remember, there was anonymous sources from Pete Carroll's camp too saying, Russ was impossible to fucking deal with, basically, is what they said. And then it all got smashed because either a deal couldn't be made or they decided to go back together. And at that press conference, they go, we love each other. Their heads pop in. It's like the Brady Bunch. And then a year later now, out the door, gone. So we have to assume that some of that was real. There was a Sports Illustrated article, I think last week, about a bunch of shit that came out behind the scenes about how Russ didn't like Schneider, allegedly, and the whole. So yeah, I think it was ugly. I did not know everybody fucking hated him, though. I had no idea.
Yeah, you see him kind of wandering around the field after the game, too, trying to find some dudes. Like, that was weird.
Yeah, he found a couple guys, but hey,
and DK send the jersey deal and all that, but yeah, it was just it was awkward. I feel like.
Yeah, him and Pete had a handshake. Him and Gino had a handshake. He is a smaller quarterback, though, and those cameras.
Yeah, right. We weren't doing him justice.
I didn't know how he could see anything, to be honest. I don't even know how you. It's never been my life.
No,
so
he's looking at DK.
I've never had to figure it out. Yeah, like following around Troy on the jumbo.
Yao Ming.
Well, at the start, too, when he was leading him out of the tunnel, like just the way it was like, oh, Jesus Christ, he looks like he's 5'4".
Yeah.
Did Russell shrink 6 inches before he signed with the
No,
Broncos?
they got a bunch of dogs on that team. Joining us now is a man who is on a team of absolute dogs. Offense, defense, special teams.
What?
Quarterback, running back, safety.
What?
Doesn't matter what the position, they got dudes.
Yeah.
0 Pro Bowlers on the defense side of the ball. Number 1 defense in the league. You tell us how that works.
Interesting.
Chip on the shoulder is huge. Interception already had by this man. Ladies and gentlemen, safety for the Buffalo Bills, Jordan Poyer.
What's up, boys? How you doing, man? How you doing? It's good to see you guys.
Dude, great to see you. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Hey, congrats again. I think I said it last year, but congrats again on all your success, bro. I'm always reading about your stuff on Twitter, man. Congrats again on all you guys, really. You guys are killing the game.
Man, you're a good. Congrats to you on all your success, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you and all your guys. All your guys, by the way. Congrats on all the success. Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. We love you. You look amazing. Hey, you look like a model right now. Yeah, you look like a model right now. Yeah. Hey, life's good over there, huh? On Thursday night, I will say, okay, because friend of the program, we all picked against you. Okay, we all did. I picked you to go to the Super Bowl. Everybody needs to relax. But opening night, I picked against you because we thought the rookie corner on that defense was potentially going to be a problem. We didn't know how the Rams quarterback said he felt better than he's ever felt in his life, Matthew Stafford. So we all picked against you. Then while we were watching it, we all had the same thoughts in our group text. What were we doing?
What have we done?
What are we even thinking about? Going into that game, you guys seem to pick up right where you left off last season. Is that how it feels inside the building?
Oh, for sure. Now, we were ready to play. Look, man, I mean, we understand we got a good football team. We got one of the best quarterback in the game, the best pass rusher in the game. And so, when it comes to us on the back end, that makes it easy for us. When you got a front four, we didn't blitz one time. You got 4 guys getting after the quarterback. We end up getting 7 sacks. I mean, that's what you want on the back end. It's just we get to go back there and just kind of cherry pick and just wait for the ball to kind of come to us. So, it's a fun group of guys to be on. It's a fun group of guys to play with, and we work extremely hard. Obviously, we've been building this thing since 2017, and we're right in our window right now. We just want to continue taking one day at a time, man. Titans lost yesterday, so we know they're going to be hungry coming in next week. It's a week-to-week league, so we got to continue to prepare well. Yeah, we had a great game on Thursday, but that don't mean shit coming into next week. You know what I mean? So you guys have played long enough to understand that, but we do got a good football team.
Yeah, hell, I'd say.
Now you mentioned your defense didn't blitz one time in that whole game, so you're getting 4-man pressure that much, and you're turning the ball over 3 times and getting 7 sacks. Like, how does it feel? I guess for your defense, you're never satisfied, always on to the next one, but you guys had a dominant performance.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you just want to continue to build off of that. I mean, anytime you can rush with 4 and get to the quarterback, I think that's the recipe to win the game anytime, any day of the week. So our jobs on the back end, we were just limiting their explosive plays. We understand that Stafford liked to take shots down the field. We were just trying to limit their explosive plays, get them to blink for a half a second to get Vaughn, Jordan, Greg, just an extra second just to get there, extra half a second just to get there. I mean, credit to Frazier and obviously Sean for putting together a hell of a game plan. And we just went out there and executed it.
We all know week 1 to week 17, hell, week 1 to week 5 is going to be vastly different. But where are you guys going to change? It's just got to get tighter, hone in on things. What is McDermott's message to you guys this week?
We always talk about Kaizen. It's just continuous growth. That's the board he always puts up every single day. Continuous growth. You never want to be satisfied with your performance, and just want to keep building. We didn't play a perfect game at all. Obviously you want to strive for.
You guys stunk, right?
Yeah,
it was. We saw that.
What the hell? I'm saying there's stuff you can get better at. You know what I mean? There's stuff that you can get better at and that you have to get better at because everybody's watching tape week in and week out, and there's always stuff that you can continue to get better at. And that's what we got to do. Just a Kaizen, continuous growth, and that's what Sean has been preaching.
I don't know. Kaizen? What are you saying?
Yeah, it's Kaizen. Kaizen. Honestly, I never heard of it until Sean, in the meeting, and it's just honestly it just means continuous growth. And he's got a board, and it's got a line going across the board, and there's squiggly lines going through the straight line, and you want to stay on the straight line, and you don't want to dip, you don't want to go high, you don't want to, it's
don't get on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Don't get on the roller
Ebbs and
coaster.
flows.
Same within the game, same within the season.
It's a compound of two Japanese words.
Oh, you're talking about Kaizen.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what you were saying. I obviously I
Is
knew
that
it.
my fault? My fault.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard that word before for sure. It's a great word, it sounds like,
Oh,
on
yeah.
continuous growth. You're on track, okay? Let's talk about Kaizen here real quick with you. You're on track right now to have 17 interceptions this year.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Big year.
17. You're on pace for 17. Now, if you don't, it'll be a letdown for everybody. But whenever you make a play like this, bam! Give me that! Big dive, big play, do your thing. Fourth quarter, ice the game basically here. And all team celebrates, do your dance, do your dance. When you make a play like that, does it make you feel good? Like, yeah, I got hands still. You know, like, is there any of that?
I got hands.
Of course.
I'm top 3 on our team for sure.
No, of course you
100%.
are. Hey, you're proving it.
But no, I mean that's why you play the game. You know, that's why you love the game. It's those moments right there. You know, you work extremely hard throughout the week in the off season. And then to get rewarded, you make plays in the game, and that feeling right there. That's why we all love the game. That's why we all play the game. Obviously to win too, but there's no better feeling than making a football play in a national football game, especially a big play like that. You know.
You guys run to the end zone celebration pick? Is that what you guys did?
I don't know. That just became a thing, right? I don't know when that started, but everybody, now I'm tired. Everybody, somebody else gets a pick. Everybody wants to run down to the end zone. I'm like, dang, man, we got
to this one?
Long way to go.
This one looks closer.
12 plays. Holy cow.
Hey, you're getting old, man. And I liked you chatting
What
about I liked you chatting about this team being together since 2017. Like, we're in it right now. This is the expectation. I can't wait to watch you guys continue to grow somehow. Ty Schmidt, your question for Jordan Poyer.
Jordan, every time you come on here, you talk about you and Micah's relationship and how you guys kind of play on a string. You've been playing together so long that you kind of, it's like the left hand knows what the right hand's doing. And I know you talk about Kaizen and continuous growth, but like with him, how do you guys get better together as a unit when you have so much chemistry already? Like, is there even anything you guys can do to continually get better together out there?
Honestly, it's really just communication. It's really just being able to get lined up and then executing the defense that's called, and when it all comes down to it, you get a call, right? And everybody's got to be on the same page for that call to be executed. And so Mike and I's job is, we're watching film throughout the week to make sure that we are making the correct calls. Because then once you make the call, now it's just playing football. Now, once you're lined up, now you're just playing football, trusting your instincts, trusting your ability and play football. But you get a call, offenses come out in a million different formations. You got to be able to, get the call quick. You got to be able to recognize formation and make your checks. And so a lot of it is throughout the week, him and I just preparing throughout the week to make sure that our back seven is all on the same page. And it's not just Mike and I. It's, our whole back seven. We're all always watching film together because if one man isn't on the same page, it jeopardizes the entire defense. And so that's what we take pride in. We want to make sure that each and every down that we're all on the same page. Even we always say if we're all right or if we're all wrong, we're right. Even if, we're supposed to be Rob and we go Lee, if we're all playing the same defense, we're all right. So
Rob Lee. Rob Lee. We got a Matt going in there. What's going on?
I'm talking ball in my head real quick.
Yeah, it was cool. I felt like I was in the huddle. Hey,
you thought he was in the huddle. Hey,
if we're all wrong, we're all right. If we're all wrong, we're all right.
Pat, you blistered.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. AJ, your question.
Jordan, how much of that communication is pre-snap? I was watching the game last night. I was watching a corner. Like, we had some cut splits, and I watched a corner trying to signal the other corner on the other side. It just got me thinking, when you play with guys long enough, you start recognizing that in the pre-snap communication. That's something that got me excited. Like, I was pumped because you could see what's going on, your preparation. Oh, here we go. This is what we talked about all week. And then you 100%. Communicate, and then when you execute, it feels great.
And the confidence, right?
Great.
And the confidence
too. So, I mean, for example, you come out, the play's over. We're looking at the sideline. First thing we're trying to find is the personnel. What personnel they coming out in. They come out in 12. They come out in 11. And then from there, you can kind of break it down to certain formations that you're going to see. You obviously already know the calls that you're going to be running out of 11 or 12. So you get a 12 personnel, the top 3 calls that Frazier's going to call out of that 11. So in the huddle, you're talking to Mike like, hey, 12 personnel, they can come out slot, they come out pro, this is what we're doing. If we're this is what we're doing. If they're that, all while they're in the huddle. So then now they break the huddle, boom, we know the spots we got to get to. We know the checks that we got to make, because you can always break it down. you can always break it down just based off of the personnel. You know the personnel. There's only certain formations that they can come out in, and then you got to make the checks from there.
Is that Coach Frazier? Like, can you talk about what he has done with that D, what he does on a daily basis, and what style of coach he is? Because it sounds like y'all motherfuckers are prepared.
Yo, we're prepared for sure. I mean, him and Sean do a hell of, I mean, not just them two, the whole defensive coaching staff do a hell of a job of getting us prepared, getting us understanding how offenses are trying to attack, us specifically, based off of what we do. And so, they could go out there one week and a defense is, maybe they're blitzing a lot more than we would have. So maybe we don't watch that tape. We watch the tape from a game where, it's a similar defense. This is how they attack them.
Gotcha.
This is a style of play that they did with that style of defense, and it's kind of similar. So we're able to get kind of a feel of how they attack. Well, we run a 4-3, how they attack a 4-3, or vice versa. So it is a lot, and confidence is another thing that he continues to give us. Just obviously, first of all, for myself, coming into 2017, the confidence that he's given me to be able to play in this system, to be able to be a leader in this system, and to trust me in this system. I take pride in that, and so does Micah, and so do a lot of guys on this defense. And so, when we're out there film studying throughout the week, we're focused in, we're honed in and locked in with whatever Frazier got to say, because Frazier played the game, for a very good football team back in the day now. So he knows what he's talking about. He knows how to get us in the right spots to help us make plays on the football.
Yeah, you got the C on the chest too, man. That's a big fucking deal. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, you've come full circle as a human, huh? I assume you realize that on a day-to-day basis, like fully focused.
It's one day at a time. We're always trying to get better. It's one day at a time, but I love it. I love where I'm at right now. I just want to keep getting better. Kaizen, that's it.
I can't wait to drop that like conversation. Like you said it like 3 times, right? And every time I immediately was like, whoa.
Context clues.
You said a word. You said it. I didn't know. I thought it was like KY, kill.
Like an acronym.
Yeah. I thought it was something. I thought that's what was happening because Eberflus's defense in Chicago is going to be hard-hitting, intensity, smart football, and
terror,
turnovers, something like that. Hits. It's a hits method. I just said the hist method, and I know coaches love those types of things. So whenever you say Kaizen, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what McDermott's saying. Turns out it's an actual word we just never fucking heard of because we're so dumb. That is kind of how we live. Connor, your question. Remember, you do know this because you know the show. Diehard Patriot fan, Connor, with a question.
Right?
Yeah,
that's right. We won't talk about that. I would like to talk about those when you're mentioning confidence and everything. Does it help that you know that the guy that you practice against is better than every single quarterback that you're going to play on Sundays? Like, does that give you more confidence too that, maybe you guys practice and Josh Allen has a great day, but you know that the things that he can do, not everybody can, and a lot of the times that helps you out when, the game comes?
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, like I said, he's the best quarterback in the game, but all quarterbacks and all offenses, they present different what's the word I'm looking for? Different
obstacles,
challenges.
adversity.
Right. Yeah. Like Josh is going to get back there if Josh is going to get back there if he does. He's got an arm, he can throw it 80 yards, or he's got he can run it and he can run you over. Certain quarterbacks, other quarterbacks are going to present different. Tannehill, he's going to come out there, they're going to run the ball. He's going to boot it, and he's going to try to hit his receivers inside the numbers or down the field. And so different challenges throughout the week, but definitely Josh prepares us. Especially in the back end, he's launching the ball down the field and giving us ability to track a ball down the field. Nobody can throw the ball as far as him, and so he definitely gives us different looks from in different ways that you definitely will not see on the field. But I would say, different teams present different challenges throughout the week.
One challenge that teams are going to have whenever they're facing Josh Allen, and I don't know if you have this challenge in practice or not. If he's doing it in practice, please let us know. He put that thing on Jalen's face a couple times. He did. He did.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was not
scraped it across.
Brings the team.
I love him. I love it.
I don't know if that's happening in practice or not, but that is an obstacle that other teams are going to have to prepare for. What a moment. There's other footage that we're seeing of Josh Allen. Hey, he's every interview he gives, he's the happy, smiling. Hey, how we doing? Have a good time. Everybody's like, he's just a big kid. He jokes around all the time. He's a fucking dog, huh? Hey, he is. Stone Cold Killer.
He came to the sideline after I think he scored a touchdown. He came to the sideline and he was flexing at me. He said, "I'm a dog. I said, yeah, hey, okay, let's go.
That's hey,
dog, bro.
Hey, you need that. I
Love that
think.
shit.
I think you need that at that position.
You have to. Oh, yeah. I mean, when a guy like that, he's firing you up, man. He's making plays out there. It only levels up everybody else's plays. So, like I keep saying, man, we're just so lucky to have him on our team.
I guess you got to be a dog though. Whenever you're getting paid over $100 million, the entire franchise is sitting on your shoulder. Like, hey, to handle that and get better, you got to be a fucking dog. I love everything about it. Tony, your question for Jordan. Last one here.
Jordan, you were talking about communication, and one of the big things before the game that everyone was talking about was Trey White being out and the young corners. Like, did you notice yourself during the game or whatever, like were you communicating more to make sure that you guys were all on the same page?
Those boys were ready to play, man. Those boys, Poyer and CB, they came in ready to play. There wasn't really anything I had to do extra out of my game or out of myself to make sure that, I give them the check. They knew what they're doing. It was nothing out of the ordinary.
Man.
They made the plays they had to. So it was really cool to see. And both of them boys have been growing this whole training camp. And I know the situation between Poyer and CB, first round pick, CB, but those boys, they're grinding together with each other, and they're going to continue to make our team a lot better.
Would have been cool to know that before the game.
Yeah. Would have been.
So we were on the Bills, on the Bills, on the Bills, on the Bills, on the Bills. And then somebody came on the show.
Sal Capaccio.
Sal Capaccio
That's
came
right.
on the show and talks about rookie corners, how's it going to go work out? And we immediately were like, his elbow's better than ever.
You ain't trust Mike and I?
Well, see, that's what we
Sal
fucking were
Capaccio.
realizing while we were watching the game, okay? That's on us. We were immature at the time.
That's fine.
Won't happen
That's
again.
right.
Won't happen
A
again.
long
Never.
season. A lot of times pick the Bills coming up. Don't you worry about that. We appreciate you joining us on this Tuesday. What do you got today? Anything else?
Nothing, man. Go get some treatment. I might go golf a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Nice day. We'll see. Shot at 87.
Selling merch too. Got a clothing line.
Huh?
Don't you have your clothing line?
Sweet
That thing's
shoes.
still rolling, right?
Oh, yeah. Y'all check it out. I'll have to send y'all something. I'll have
Okay.
to send y'all something.
How do we buy it? There it is, right there.
Well, it's sold out right now, but I'm gonna
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Sorry about
It's
it.
a lot. It's
No
a lot
big
of
deal.
yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah, y'all check it out. I'll send y'all some. Boyko's gonna send me y'all address. I'll get y'all a box of stuff.
Okay, supply chain's a problem for everybody, okay? So we understand completely. Enjoy your day. You said you shot an 87. You're a golfer?
I'm a golfer. I try. I try.
87 is pretty good.
87 is all right. My best is 80. I've never broke 80. Hit 83 times. Never broke it though.
Today.
Are you a bomber? Yeah, what are you? What are you?
300, 310.
Jeez.
All
I'll
right.
play.
It'll play. I just my short game is tough right now.
Yeah, you got to work on that. That's this guy that's sitting on the screen with us. 380, 390 drives. No shit. That barbarian.
I'm
rate-
not Timmy Tebow. That's Tebow.
That's crazy though.
Dude.
Oh my goodness.
Jordan. We were out at Tahoe at that American Century Championship.
Yes.
It is.
Whoever's listening, I'm trying to play in that one of these days. Go ahead.
Yes, you should.
Make a Pro Bowl, maybe, dude.
Yeah, I gotta do something. Jesus.
He's a spectacle to watch drive. He swings out of his shoes every time, dead straight. It's like a home run every single
I
time.
gotta go YouTube this now.
Yes.
Wild.
We appreciate you. Have a great day. Good luck in the golf game. You're
boys.
breaking 80
Appreciate it.
today. Jordan Poyer. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's the
He's
man.
awesome.
They're awesome.
One of the most likable guys of all time.
I do feel like he did take it as a shot that we said we changed our entire pick with the rookie.
Yeah.
corner.
It was very big of you to admit that,
It
though,
was.
right after he said, congratulations on all your success again. He said, hey, by the way, sorry, we picked the Rams last week.
Well, what would we be?
Exactly.
If we didn't. Had to do it. Yeah.
He gets it. We don't know the team as well as he does, obviously.
And we have to make picks. What do you fucking want from us?
What do you want?
Sorry.
Sorry, we're standing under the hoop like Boston Connor every
Yeah.
single week.
Yeah, and, Stafford had his whole entire interview, and McVay putting their fucking nuts on the table. Sorry,
Yeah.
okay? They just got better.
Sorry.
So did the Bills.
Sorry.
Now we know.
And we love him, but Sal Capaccio really was acting like it was Armageddon because they had two
he was
rookie
self-handicapped
cornerbacks.
for the Bills.
Yeah.
Bro, how about him right here
With-
on the balcony? I'll never forget it.
With his brother.
Hey, how was the mic
Don't.
hooked? Was the mic hooked up to his phone?
Yeah, I think.
That's how they
So he
roll.
Bluetooth a stick mic to his phone. This guy's amazing.
Professional.
Okay, took it with him just in case something like that would take place.
Yeah.
And he's always ready. Sal Capaccio, okay, fine paisan, incredible beat writer for the Buffalo Bills.
Love you, Sal.
So good, he made us actually question something because that's what the beat writers are having to do for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
They're having to figure out what is something that could go wrong because they're trying to analyze the team for the good of the Buffalo Bills Mafia. And it's like, Sal, we don't need to hear it. Okay,
Tell us they're going to beat the shit out of us. Sal.
Keep it to yourself.
Just keep the positive flow going. Now, now what happens though if rookie corner does get and then Sal's like, I gave these guys right. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's kind of a no-win situation for Sal.
It's just like Hackett last night.
Yeah.
Hackett was in a fucking note. Rex came on and was like, yeah, guy. Rex buried him.
I saw some of it. Rex was awesome.
He buried Mark, buried Gino.
Yep.
Buried Hackett, buried
Russ, maybe?
No, that was it.
No, because he buried Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, he was the second one in there.
Oh.
But he could have buried the lady, the girlfriend's feet.
That's right.
He said he refused to do it.
They were nice feet.
Yeah, good feet. Good feet on that lady.
Which is interesting.
But Hackett there. Let's go through the end of that game there. And the situations are situational, and that's certainly a situation that you don't know you're in until you're fucking in it. Now, I assume that they had preparation, and hey, if this situation pops up, this is what we're going to do. 3 timeouts, minute 11, 3rd and 14, down 1. I'm not sure that's a situation you work on, but I'm assuming you've done similar type plays. This was supposed to be not get close enough to field goal range where we even have to make a decision. Let's just go ahead and run another play after this and have to go for it on 4th down. Yeah. They get to the 46. I think he was told pregame, probably by McManus, if you give me the 47, I'm good. Probably 65 and in because how big McManus's leg is. So at that moment of him stopping at
Right now.
Yes, at the 46, he has to go, oh shit, we're in field goal range. It's 4th down. He should have timed out to think about it longer, but that seems like where the malfunction happened in his brain, AJ. Is that what you think?
Yeah, it does seem that way. Yeah, like you realize, we're in range for our guy, so we're gonna get this done. But yeah, you blew 20 seconds, then here we go. Like, what was this play going to be? That's what I would like to know.
And if this was just going to be a hard count, how come we didn't even take it?
Yeah.
You know,
like you could.
Well, they're about to get delayed game.
As soon as Javonte gets tackled, you could time out, huddle up, go.
Hard
and if
count.
you don't, hard count. If you don't want to run a play, hard count, another timeout.
Can you go back-to-back timeouts?
That was my
There's
question. in
other
my
people
head
too
as I
on
was
staff.
saying it.
Like,
I don't know if you can go back-to-back timeouts, but nonetheless, at least hard count immediately as soon as you see 4th and 5, then take a timeout and figure it out. You know?
yeah. I mean, that's the thing, that there's multiple coaches on. There's like analytics coaches. There's all that you have, like game management people that's kind of their job to kind of forecast what may come up here in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th quarter that you got to deal with. And I know myself, like that would not be my strength. If I was a coach, which I would never be, I would have somebody like, hey, my brain does not work like this. I need you to have this all drilled out before the game.
See, I don't think you should be a head coach then. I think that is something the head coach has to be able to figure out. I
Absolutely.
honestly, those decisions are things that the head coach is put in the head coaching role to make, especially now he's a play caller, so he's only on the offensive side. Normally, offensive coaches are better with situations than defensive coaches because defensive coaches are normally on the receiving end of the other motherfucker making the decision. So you would think that Hackett would have been ahead of the game, but I think it getting into field goal range without the expectation of them getting into field goal range on that particular play really fucked them up. Tone Diggs just corrected me. Can't go timeout for just corrected the stat
Myself.
line. Yeah, well, yeah, I can't go back-to-back timeouts. The Lions, I guess, did it last year, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. Yes, that's the last time it has happened. But if they don't make it on 4th and 5, and you have a kicker like McManus who can make it from there. Now, his stats from 60-plus are not great. Nobody's stats from 60-plus are that fantastic. Maybe Prater. He might have hit a couple. Janikowski has a miss from 70. Are you going to hold that against him on his stats? Plus 60. Yeah. You know, like it's an interesting thing for a game-winning situation. If you walk out of there without a kick at all, you're murdered even more, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it was the lack of the hard count, timeout. It just looked like they weren't prepared.
Yes.
And if you look like you're panicked, everybody else is going to be like, this motherfucker wasn't ready for this particular situation.
Yeah, like that's what Rex said. Like it felt like when they did get all those yards and it became 4th and 5, like he had an idea of whether they wanted to kick it or run a play, but he didn't know what to do like in the moment. And that's where it feels like obvious to, call a timeout, maybe talk to Russ, maybe talk to McManus, be like, okay, like what are we thinking here?
That's like NASCAR. Everybody on the line. Let's go hard count here, like whatever your play call.
What was he thinking? Was he thinking, hey, if we drain this kick, I want to have as least amount amount of time on the clock as possible.
Yeah, if we make it, we got to kick off.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Seattle hadn't done anything on offense in the second half, really.
Yeah, but like I think that is what he was thinking in his head is we are going to kick this. Let's run as much time for when he makes it. That might be what Hackett's saying. This guy's going to make this kick.
What did he say after the game?
Oh, great question. Should have done better research, guy who hosts a show about sports and was going to talk about this situation on show.
Well, I mean, the other thing, too, is he's the only one.
I don't think he said
right?
much. We didn't hear it.
It ended late.
No, yeah, it was very late.
I was fighting it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, with how loud it got for that 64-yarder, it was like, I was up for a bit. I was up for a bit after that 64-yarder. That was loud. That place was fucking loud. And he almost, this is from 63. It's good, probably.
Yeah.
It's in, last second, He hit a mulligan, too. So he missed them both, I think, same way.
Yep.
So you would think that maybe he gets the second one in there. That ball turned sideways, though, for some reason. Had to be because he must have hit it a little bit like that. McManus can stroke a fucking ball, though.
It sounded like you kind of said where he said, I thought Javonte made an amazing play. Feels like he wasn't expecting to get close enough. But he said we got to the mark that we were looking for.
Yeah. So this is another thing that happens with head coaches. They get told a mark or a yardage for the kicker to be comfortable. And then once they get there, they're like, yeah, well, you fucking told us. Tell us a different number then. It's almost like I'm not saying he did this because it was fourth down. They couldn't just gain more yards. But there's plenty of instances around the league, and we'll see it every single week, where it comes down to like a game-winning kick or whatever, and they get to the mark, and it's like it's a 54-yarder, and you got a couple plays in time. It's like, can we get maybe 5 more yards here to make this easier? Well, you're the one that told us that this. You're the one that said that you can make this kick, right? I mean, we're fucking paying you. Make the goddamn kick. It's like, yeah, but this would be an easier kick. We fucking maybe,
keep going.
Common sense, kind of, right? Here we go. Let's get a little extra cushion so it's a little easier. Right?
But it's very much I did my job, right? It's very much like we got to you know what I mean?
Now kicker. So then, if I was the kicker next game, he'd be like, "Where are you good from?" I was like, 25-yard line.
Well, extra point. Where's the extra point now? 33 yards. Fucking that.
Right there.
Every single time. I'd like an extra point. Yeah. Sorry about it. Can you give me a real answer? Well. Will you be a real coach at some point?
Yeah.
Make a real decision later and not fuck me over. But that is a constant conversation. So, once again, though, McManus bombs balls.
Mm-hmm.
Like he takes
close.
His kickoffs are 3 steps, and he can put that thing out of the stadium. Nobody gives him credit because he's at Mile High, right? So it's like thin air. Anybody can do it up there. I agree. Everybody's ball goes further at Mile High. That motherfucker at regular ass sea level can beat whoever your kicker is, probably, if I had to guess.
It also seemed like because the last 50 seconds took about 10 minutes in real time with all like the clock snafus and them figuring it out, that it wasn't as much of like when this stuff typically happens, there's poor clock management and the game kind of just ends. And then after the game, we have like the immediate, like what were they doing? Like in real time with Peyton, hey, want to get a timeout here. Probably want to talk about this. Probably want to get one
He's
here.
the biggest Broncos fan out there right now,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So, like, in real time, people were all kind of saying, like, hey, what the hell is going on? Why aren't you guys taking a timeout here? And I feel like typically that's not the case. Like, it's the post-mortem where everyone's like, hey, why didn't we do that? But because it took so long, like, people were second-guessing and micromanaging the situation as it was unfolding.
Makes kick. They only got 15 seconds left or whatever, though. He looks like genius.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's how his first game as being a head coach ends. If that ball
he has like a day bowl moment almost.
Yeah.
Not as serious, not as big, but yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
I'm a genius. Peyton was even timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Peyton, if we take timeout, then we kick it. They got 52 seconds. They got Geno Smith. They have an opportunity to go back. Field goal wins it. Wanted to get the clock all the way down, so whenever he made the kick, they only had 15 seconds or whatever, which is not an easy thing to get to, field goal range there. That's all he would say. So I guess it's easy to judge looking back, but maybe Hackett did have a goddamn plan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's say hypothetically he makes that kick. Do you squib the kickoff or do you kick it? What do you think?
Out.
Always?
I think so, yeah.
With that much time.
I'm with it. I always say kick it out of the end zone.
I think the squib doesn't make any sense to me. I think we should take the squib out of the goddamn game because the squib is supposed to eat up more time, but the clock doesn't start until somebody touches the ball, I think. So it's like it's not really
ball gets there faster.
Yeah, it's worse almost. I feel like it's worse than what you do. It's a fascinating thing.
It wasn't even just that last play, though. Like, they started that drive with 4 minutes left at the 22-yard line. They went 10 plays, 32 yards to get where they were. and it chewed up like 3 minutes or whatever it took.
So if we want to judge how effective the offense is, let's certainly do that.
All night they were flirting with that play clock too. Like a couple delay game penalties, and there
Russ
were a
was
lot of times
always
where Russ
hurrying
was
guys
barely
into
getting that
motion. You
ball
saw he
off,
was always, like he was frustrated. Come on, get going, like get this guy going so he could take a look at the defense.
He wasn't frustrated at the podium afterward. He wasn't going to be rattled.
Nothing rattles him.
Why would he be? 340 yards and a touchdown.
See, that's what a lot of people are saying too. He had
That was a
great-
quiet 340 yards.
Yeah, but it was still 340 yards. So
I know.
He looked awesome. The tuxedo was incredible. He wore a tuxedo.
Yeah, and it was sweet.
How about those suede shoes or
those shades
I mean,
too?
you fumbled twice on like the 1 yard line going in.
Not
How
even.
often do you win those games?
AJ.
The inch line, yeah. I'm sorry, like that. If you do one of those, good luck winning the game. They almost won the game. They fumbled twice right there.
Bro, all they had to do was literally just set it and just do this.
Being in gun on the one is, I don't know.
That's like another question I have about another play that obviously we can judge the result and how the result happened, like hell of a play by the Seahawks, and the offensive tackle or offensive guard Glasgow thought it was a pass play, so he pass protected, got blown up. He ran into a second time, which either of those go through, you obviously win. Texas on the goal line. Why is Quinn Ewers even? What are we even doing?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
You got Bijan Robinson.
Yes. A lot of young guys haven't taken snaps under center. A lot of young quarterbacks.
But even fucking just hand it off to Bijan. They were talking about Bijan being the, hey, this is the guy.
Heisman.
This is the guy. And I'm watching that game. I'm in the stadium, and they're down, way down there, because Quinn's a dog. Like, this guy is a guy. And I know Sark has like an NFL concepts in his offense. And when he was with Mac Jones, he's unbelievable. If a quarterback can understand the defense, he knows exactly where he needs to go. Seemed like Quinn Ewers had that. Seemed like he had it figured out. So his football IQ, although his mullet is long, his football IQ was high. As soon as I saw him scrambling for his life, I'm like, what the fuck are we even? I literally just listened to all the college football experts talk about Bijan Robinson for 3 fucking hours. What are we even doing here? Let's just hand the guy.
And wasn't it like it was a play action, right? He had to turn his back to
completely. Yeah,
yes, that's never.
I didn't fully understand
against
that.
those pass rushers that they have on the edge.
Are we talking about what happened there enough? I don't think so.
No way. And that's what changed the whole game. I mean, granted, Texas still put up a fight, but it feels like if Quinn Ewers kept playing, they were going to win that game.
Nonetheless, this goes for everything in football. If it works, it's brilliant. If it doesn't, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's literally how it goes with everything. Every fake. 4th and 7, McDaniel.
Exactly.
4th and 7, McDaniel against the Patriots in his first game as a head coach with Tua and those offensive weapons going for it. It becoming a touchdown and then inevitably being like a difference maker in the whole game. Like, he doesn't get that, he's an idiot.
Yeah, ball's on the 42.
And there's 35 seconds left. Might steal some momentum for New England on the way back.
Like AJ mentioned too, Dable goes for 2 to put him up by 1, and Tennessee still has a minute. You know, if they either don't get that 2-point conversion, and
Make
Tennessee
the kick.
can, or exactly. Then New York media is fucking ripping him to shreds. But instead, it's like, hey, the Giants, they might make the playoffs this year.
Instead, it's a little AQ Shipley looking
Right.
guy
Yeah.
in the middle of everybody dancing their asses off. It's crazy how the game works, and that's why the league is fantastic. Let's talk about some of the ratings, because some of the ratings have come out for the NFL games. 25.1 million viewers were average for the Sunday Night Football game between Tampa and Dallas. That's the first Sunday Night Football game. Yeah, 25.1 million views. Whew. I couldn't remember if it was 21.5 or 25.1. Nonetheless, biggest thing since the Super Bowl on television. Congratulations to the NFL for continuing to be the ratings king and the cash cow, AJ Huck.
I mean, okay, so can you compare this? Like, for people that don't know ratings at all, what does the NBA Finals get?
So, like,
you know?
5 or 6.
Yeah.
5, 6.
And so this one, regular season game gets 25 million.
Yeah, maybe up to 7 if it's like really good storylines for the NBA. Like if LeBron's
Why is that?
LeBron,
Is it because, obviously, I'm biased. I love football. I like all sports, but I love watching football. Is it because every game just means so much?
It's because football is the greatest sport ever invented.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Well,
okay. Now,
why does everybody think that, though? It seems like the majority of people, at least in America, believe that.
Well, do people like pizza? Yes.
Yeah.
I hope
Why?
so.
Because pizza's fucking good. Do people like chicken nuggets? Yes. Why? Because chicken fucking nuggets are good. Do people like football? Yes. Why? Because the game is unbelievable. There's so much. There's everything that you could potentially want is in the sport. I mean, you got drama with all the storylines. So much physicality as if it's back in a gladiator day. People love MMA. I got a lot of respect for MMA. I watch it every single weekend. Shout out to all the dudes that go in there and fight each other. And they're throwing bombs at each other's heads. And that is... People have been watching that since literally the beginning of time. Shout out to House of the Dragon. They're beating fuck out of each other to 175 years before Game of Thrones was even taking place. But the NFL has that. It has the gladiator mentality in it. It has speed. It has creativity. It has tribalism, right? Cities versus cities. I mean, it's just like the perfect fucking game, AJ. That's why.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear. I agree.
All right. Most
I'm
viewed
wondering.
game-
I just don't the wide gap there is between football and everything else. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is that?
So in the 1990s, I guess in 1998, the NBA pulled 22 million viewers with the Chicago Bulls playing. I assume that's Michael Jordan Game 6.
Yeah, against the Jazz.
That was before there's other options too, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was before social media and content being king. And I think that's how the NFL has really displayed its dominance. Because although the NBA gets 5, 6, 7, whatever the million viewers are, it dominates social.
Yeah.
NBA dominates social. NBA has to figure out how to profit off of all the social media space it owns during its run. A lot of people who just watch TV, or maybe even just YouTube, they have no idea about what the NBA does on Twitter, runs Twitter when NBA is happening. It has no idea what it does on all the other social. The amount of views and clips and clicks and highlights that get circulated on the internet for NBA games, I would say, is bigger than any other sport other than the NFL.
Yeah.
Now, the NFL has done a great job on keeping the old school traditional market of TV and the ratings climbing while also dominating on social. That's why they're the fucking cash cow. That's why the NFL is what the NFL is right now.
In 1 month of the NBA is an entire season of the NFL. Like, the games just mean more in the NFL because you only get 17 of them. So, like, if you miss one game or if your team loses 2 or 3 games in a row, like, yeah, your season might be over. In the NBA, you can lose 20 straight games, but then by the end of the season, you still might have a chance to win it all.
And even in the playoffs,
Yes.
you lose. It's still got
Yeah,
time.
you got 7 chances.
So I'll see it tomorrow. I'll watch it tomorrow.
I think the NFL has more people, players that actually transcend the game too for casual fans who don't really care than any other sport. Like Tom Brady, like people know who Tom Brady is, and if they were they might not be a diehard football fan, but if hey, we're hearing this could be his last season, he's got a bunch of this shit in his personal life, and then they're playing the Cowboys. It's like you're going to get a lot more casual people tuning into that.
That's very interesting because they say, and I've agreed with it for a long time, that the NBA is the best marketed, branded athlete league in the world because every single one of them doesn't have to wear a helmet. Every single one of them have a lot of eyeballs on them and opportunity to make highlights every single night. I find that interesting to think that, with the NFL stars, it's cracked into like the suits in the you're saying in that
I think
particular
so.
world.
I mean, granted, it was a little bit different, with Rodgers last year and everything, but like after, they were parrying him on SNL, how many casual people who don't watch the NFL who saw that who were like, oh, well, fuck it, whatever your feelings are on him, like I'll watch him play on Sunday.
49 million him versus the Niners.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Packers versus the Niners, obviously. I apologize for phrasing it that way. 49 million. He'll be joining us in 10 minutes.
Let's go.
How's that going to go?
How's he doing?
I mean, hopefully he shows.
You tell me.
Oh.
You
Just
son of a
because.
bitch.
Come on.
No, I was nervous with the Micah Parsons thing.
What happened
Threw me
with
for
it?
a loop.
Yeah, we know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
We all know what you were This is so good.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, the wine breeze. It's different.
It is. It's delish. We should keep these and hold these all hostage.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
Because they're only for sale during September. So
Yeah, order them
If
all.
they sell well, though, move it out of the beta stage and
So we buy them all, and then
bring it to market.
They'll move it out of the
it
base.
tastes good. There's no reason for it to be.
No, it's
I know.
delicious. Shouldn't taste the way it does.
Thank God it does, though.
Let's go to the phones here before we take five. Before episode 1 of season 3 of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday begins in about 10 minutes.
Does he have a book? Does he have a book?
I think we're starting a book week next week. We got to get. This is on me mostly.
What?
I'll say RN. We dropped the ball on the figuring out who the fuck we're going to donate the $100,000 to. So we'd like to get that wrapped up first before we move on to next.
That makes sense.
He just donated the books.
Well,
Yeah.
turns out like
Books are
not
us.
every reading advocacy group, I guess, is actually readers. It's tough to find. Who we
Really?
should donate to.
Okay.
Books R Us, yeah.
Well, that's not a store.
And we'll open it.
See, once again, then we're donating to a business as opposed to a
fund.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We would like to help, though.
Yes.
We would like to help, and we will.
Just make sure you're not like sending it to some creep that has a fake like foundation, right? Like
yeah, there's a lot of that stuff happening. Yeah. A lot of people love books, and I appreciate that. But we would like to help the future of book readers.
Yeah. What about libraries? Is that a thing?
Yeah, like this one down here needs a lot.
Yeah. Like,
We'll give a donation. Guess what they'll use it for? Hopefully.
Well, security guards to fucking fend off the bums.
All right, let's
that
go
are
to the
crawling.
phones.
I hope. Man, they're
Libraries are home. Okay, it's a safe place for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go to the phones.
A little too safe.
Well,
free internet
the
access
bums go in
too.
there and watch porn.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
have
Free
that.
internet
Can I use your bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
Left and right.
in this library, yeah.
Whale
there's a lot of
on their
ball
meat.
spinners on
They have
there.
to have some kind of things on
Disgusting.
those computers, right?
No,
They're
You
able
have
to
no
code.
idea.
These guys are able to code. Let's
Yeah.
go to the phones.
They don't have the bum blockers, so they can just go right in there.
Let's go to
Big
Tyler.
wet bum butts.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's gross.
Bad.
It's a niche group. They don't know if it's the bums looking for it or the others, but nonetheless, it's a lot of bopping. Let's go to Tyler in Illinois on the 5 Energy phone line. I'm sure they're pumped for this. What do you want to talk about, Tyler?
Put codes on their toilet paper.
Hey, boys, how we doing?
Keep it moving.
Hey, oh, so cool. Just want to talk about the Saints. The Saints fan, Will Lutz being back like a game changer because we lost like 3 games last year due to terrible kicking. Just want to throw that one out there, see what your thoughts are.
I appreciate you, Tyler. Yeah, Will Lutz is back. The thing about Will Lutz that I find fascinating, I talked to a kicking expert. His foot is a thin one, okay? So his foot is a little thinner. So whenever he has more room for air on a ball. That's why when he hits a ball, it's always so beautiful. He missed a kick earlier in this game, and everybody was flabbergasted by it. He seems to never, ever miss. He was hurt last year, so they had a rotating cast. Him coming back, getting an opportunity to hit from 51 to win the thing, almost as good as pure if you were to put a bet on it before it happening. I'm pumped for Will with 1L, Lutz being back in the NFL. And with that being said, it's time for us to take 5. Take five. Because on the other side, we will be back with Aaron Rodgers for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, coming out for the Vikings game, in which things did not go fantastic. Last year, this same exact time, we had a similar conversation with Aaron. He would go on to win the MVP, and the Packers would go on and turn it around. Well, how is he feeling today? How is he feeling now? We shall find out with a brand new haircut in about 5-6 minutes. We'll see you then. Be a friend, tell a friend. Goodbye. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, or maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport. it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
There's me holding for you. Okay, I'm one of the greatest holders in the history of the NFL. You can go look at stats and percentages of made kicks. I also enjoy seeing other people shine. You'll pull it back just like you're golfing or just like a shooting game with your thumb. The wind in the top right corner is something you will have to pay attention to. And as you get rolling, the more kicks you make in a row, the more money and the higher the score gets generated. There's obviously things you'd like to hit. There's a lack of a fan lower left. There's a golden ball there, top left, in which you can put in if you're going to miss and make. The game has so many different pieces to it. We're incredibly proud, and then that's a miss, obviously. That's a terrible kick.
Not a good ball.
Oh, no.
Oh, hang on.
Lights are on.
Made it. No, I actually told him.
60?
Listen, Ty could go put a 20,000 piece on this if he wanted to right now. Ty and none of the boys at the office are up for any of the prizes, especially the week 1 prize. So there's a reason they've been playing for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There will be up and coming contests with this though next year or next week or maybe the week after that you'll have to beat or try to beat the highest score of the office, and there'll be a lot of money on the line. It's from 80 yards.
Nice
Boom, and he hits the no-win game.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is episode 1, season 3 of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. Hour 3 starts, all right? Now, football is here. And I think what's about to happen signifies that football is all the way back, maybe more than anything else in this particular office. Woo! Because to my left, you're right on the screen with an incredible jawline and a head that has a massive brain inside of it is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, and a 2-time COVID survivor, AJ Hawk. And in here at the talks table is at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. You guys look fantastic.
Hey, thank you, Pat.
And right up here on a stage wearing a cowboy hat. He's one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys at Tone Diggs.
Pleasure to be here.
And anytime we start chatting about actual action, and anytime we start talking about plays and games and outcomes and situations, we know that football season is back, but it isn't until the first Tuesday of the season, AJ, that we get a real chance to dive deeper into the weeds. Ain't that right, AJ?
That is correct.
For the last 2 years, we've had the opportunity to ride alongside a man on back-to-back MVP campaigns. For the last 2 years, we got to introduce somebody to the world. Although they had heard his name, they had seen him play, but they did not know who he was as a human. For the last 2 years, we had the opportunity to display this alien, this anomaly, this one of one, in a way that we will all be very thankful for years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, the back-to-back MVP of the NFL, the host of Rodgers Tuesday, number 12, in Green Bay, with a new haircut, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! Great shirt. Great shirt, Aaron, great shirt.
Thanks, Pat.
We're all Mustangs here, aren't we?
Goddamn right we are.
We're all Mustangs here.
Except for Connor.
Except for
Not
Connor.
true.
Connor's not a Mustang.
Not a Mustang.
Go Plum.
Hey, let's go Mustangs!
Mustangs!
Mustangs. Hey, you had that water last week. What is it? I assume that water tastes better than the water that I'm drinking right now.
This is raw Nam Ham coconut water.
Is that ayahuasca?
Right from the
Microdosing?
No, it's right from the source, made in Thailand, and pretty incredible. It's a new product I just found, so checking it out. Staying hydrated, bro. You know how we do it.
Hey, you're damn right. I'm with you. Now, this one's from Fiji. Yours is from Thailand. I'd assume your water is better, but I appreciate the hell out of you for joining us. Let's dive into it. How is the mindset? Last year, pretty similar start. I think this isn't a new feeling after week one, trying to figure some things out. How are you here on this Tuesday? Have you moved past the Vikings game already?
Well, yeah, Pat, you got to. It's Tuesday already. We're already in our next preparation. That's the beauty and the curse sometimes of our sport. You know, it's fun to reminisce and stew over a big-time win where you ball out and have a great performance. And it's nice sometimes to be able to move past a disappointing loss in the first game of the year. Now, like I said after the game, you know, definitely an improvement over last year. We scored 7 as opposed to 3. So
Hell yeah.
a lot of things to build on. But that game was, you know, a couple plays from being really tight. And that's the beauty of the NFL and the frustrating part. You know, we had a chance in the first play of the game to have a 75-yard touchdown. We had a chance on the goal line a couple different times to punch it in and score. And, you know, the game would have looked a lot different, obviously. And that's that game you don't like playing, but coaches like it because you got a lot to correct on Monday.
I could imagine.
Hey, what was it like? What was their defense doing? I guess that I guess may have frustrated you guys, or at least they seemed like they were covering everybody and they were getting a ton of pressure on you. Is that just normal Vikings D?
Well, they got a good front, obviously, with Z and Hunter. You know, they got 2 premier pass rushers, and they got some good push up the middle. They played some different coverage in the back end. Harrison was really flying around on my eyes, and there were some things we just didn't expect. Leverages mostly, I think, on the slot for a lot of different plays. There were some guys you know, left open at times that we got to. Some we couldn't get to. Comes to the pressure. But overall, you know, they played pretty solid. They didn't bring a lot of pressure. They think pressured, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times the entire game. So they played a lot of shell coverage, a little bit of one high here and there, sprinkle in, but a lot of quarter half stuff and stuff that we expected to see. We've seen from our own defense in practice. But when you got a good pass rush and you can cover on the back end, that's a good recipe for shutting the team down.
Going into the game, you know that Bach and Jenkins aren't going to play? Or is that kind of game time decision and takes you off guard there? Because how do you know they have a good pass rush and you're without now Bach for a season now at this point, all-pro guy. I mean, that's going to be difficult to replace regardless, let alone who knows when he's going to be back. Do you know going into the game that's the case? Going into the week that's the case? And can that ever enter your mind? How do you block that out?
Well, like most of the time we know by Friday if a guy's going to play or not. There's certain players, and I kind of fall in that category, that can not practice all week and then play on Sunday, and you expect them to be out there and playing well. Every now and then a guy won't practice and maybe do some stuff on Saturday and go out and play, but for the most part, if a guy doesn't practice during the week and definitely practice on Friday, there's not a high expectation of them playing. So we had a pretty good idea that both Elton and Dave weren't going to play starting the week, but you know they had the chance to get out there and see how they felt, and they weren't ready to go. And Allen pushed it hard to come back, and just wasn't ready either. So, you know, down those 3 didn't help, but I felt like the line overall played pretty good up front. We ran the ball really well. We just didn't get enough attempts. I think we had 18 attempts for over 100 yards. Just got to find ways to keep getting the ball to 28 and 33 more. But look, it's a good learning experience for us. You hate it for that to happen in an L. Learning experiences and wins are a lot more fun, but I'm sure there's overreaction. Monday, the first Monday of the whole football season, after the games have happened, it's, I'm sure, a really fun time for all media types, because you can write a team off, you can crown a team, you can make some wide sweeping decisions about certain teams or players or sides of the ball, and we're just getting back to work and hoping to put a little better product on the field this Sunday.
Now, I don't know if it's been since the ayahuasca trip a few years back that made you change your mindset about football and life as a whole. You seem to be very comfortable, confident, and content in what this team is going to become. You said that after the game, you're like growing pains and everything like that. Young squad around you. We saw that literally on the first play. You already referenced it. I mean, hey, that was
bucket.
In a bucket with a brand new guy on a go route. What do you say to him since the game has happened? Because you're going to need him, right? I mean, you're going to need him, and it feels like you are very comfortable with where all these guys are in their development and what next week's going to look like.
Yeah, there's not much to say to Christian after that one. That was obviously a great route by him. And I was teasing Pat P after the game how we got him on the first play. And he said, I wasn't quite warmed up yet. I liked the call. We talked about it basically from Thursday on, starting the game with that play. And, I, in so many words, unless the coverage was something else, I expected the ball to go to Christian. And so we talked about that and the type of route he wanted to run, and the fact that he could score on his first play as a Packer. So there's a lot of things that kind of lined up there really nice. But look, there's not much to say there. Drops are going to happen. They suck more when it's one that would have been a walk-in touchdown. But the ones that are most frustrating are the mental mistakes, and we made way too many of those on Sunday, and that's what we got to clean up. There's going to be drops. You hope not for a touchdown again, or at least not a bomb touchdown. But it's the mental mistakes we really got to clear up. There was a lot from a lot of people, and
what do you mean? Can you give examples for people that don't know what that means?
And is this what you were motherfucking about on the bench?
Yeah, give Tom a break.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Probably. They were zoomed in real tight. I heard. I could hear a couple of the words. It felt like, but there was a lot of this, and it was fucking every time. This is that what you're talking about? Is that the frustrating thing? And what are some of those things, if you could expand upon?
Well, I think it goes into the why, which is the most important thing in football and often in life, is understanding the why.
Here we go.
So we have a play, right? And you install it and you talk about it. That's paper football, right? To go into it, the next level before you get onto the field is the understand the concept of why. What are we trying to accomplish with this play, and how does that affect my specific role on that play? That is the why part. Why we're running this play. So it might be because of certain coverage, it might be because of a certain matchup, it might be because of a certain adjustment you're expected to run on a certain play. That's what we just need to clean up a little bit. Just the why parts. We can't have a bunch of robotic things going on out there. We need guys who are able to react in real time and to make adjustments on the fly. And some of that is, experience for sure, and some of that is in the preparation. It's not just understanding what you need to do, but why you need to do what you're doing, and then what to expect, which will change what is drawn on the paper to what actually needs to show up in live time in the game. So, again, that's why we have to have patience. A lot of these guys have not played a ton of football, and really it's not something that could have been figured out in training camp or some off-season throwing session. These are live rep things with the pressure of a regular season game, with the pressure of it counting, that they have mistakes they have to make. And there's things that have happened in practice that we've corrected. But it all comes down to, in the moment, can we make the right adjustment? Can we think quickly but have a slow mind? Can we play fast but be under control? And that's why I'm not too worried about it. There's a lot of talent on our side of the ball. We just got to execute a little bit better. If 10 guys are doing it right on one play, sometimes it's that one person who screws it up, and it could be me. That could totally ruin a play.
Hey, you mentioned that, though. Could you have gotten any of that experience in the preseason? I know you mentioned regular season because you knew that question was probably coming, or they already asked you in the locker room. But if you would have got some reps in the preseason, would that have helped? I would assume that's what they're asking you.
Look, a lot of this stuff is team specific. It's look specific. It's against first team players who are running intricate schemes. The preseason is a lot of one high man and one high zone and two high man. It's very basic coverages. There's very few pressures. Most coaches will talk to each other, during the week before the lead up of the game and ask for certain things or ask not for certain things or say who's playing or who's not playing and are you going to bring any pressure or not pressure. And for the most part, there's very few real football scenarios that happen that you can't get outside of a practice. The only thing is that there's more people watching those preseason games. Other than that, the practice reps are the most important because you're going against a number one defense when it's the ones-on-ones, and they're playing intricate coverages and schemes and trying things, and you have to react in real time. So those are the most important reps. The preseason is just to see if anything changes when the lights go on for certain players, but that's why I said we're going to be a work in progress. I said it before the season. I said it after the game. We have to have patience with these guys, all the guys, not just the young players, but all the guys, because there's an adjustment with the way things were doing.
Bill Belichick actually said preseason games, nobody's showing anybody shit. He actually said it like last week. He said, nobody's showing anybody anything. All the cards are on the table week one. The cards, it seemed like that the Vikings were putting on the table were fucking good. And I know you've been in the NFC North for a long time, and the Vikings have looked at the Green Bay Packers for a long time as the team that's gotten in their way. They probably had a couple good squads that could have won on runs, but the big bad wolf was in the NFC North in that frozen Dahn in Wisconsin, which is you.
Yeah.
What did you see from that team? I mean, it looked like their defense was able to get pressure. Offensively, Justin Jefferson, and you said it afterwards, hey, man, couldn't help but pay your respects, I feel like, to how he played and what he did. Did you notice anything different about that team with Kevin O'Connell's leadership over there?
Well, I'm happy for Kevin. Kevin used to be a workout buddy of mine in San Diego years and years ago. As young players, we worked out in a gym out there.
You're so old, bro. That guy's a head coach now. Damn. In your division, you're an old ass, bro. Old.
I'm happy for him though. He's been some different places and done a great job, and he obviously has the charisma to lead a team and the intelligence to come up with good schemes. They're obviously running a similar offense that we run. I'll tell you what I told Justin after the game. I said he was the best player on the field, and I meant it. I didn't say it tongue in cheek. I've been a fan of his since I watched him in college, and he's a dynamic player who is an excellent route runner. I'm sure, as any good player should do and would do, he's probably watched the best his position over the last couple of years, and that would be probably Davante Adams.
Hell yeah.
Because a lot of his release stuff looks pretty similar to 17. And, he was the difference maker, I think, for the entire game. And Kirk's very steady at quarterback and did a nice job, looked like getting them in the right stuff and making the plays that were there to make. But Justin obviously was the difference in the game.
Yeah, this is a cool moment. And everything you say and do is going to get recorded. So I assume Justin was happy to hear that from OG legend Aaron Rodgers. And it was real watching it. Kevin O'Connell allegedly going to be putting him in the Cooper Kupp role. I'm excited to see what he does. That could be a problem in the NFC North. Hey, I know there's going to be a learning curve, but I think over there, they're ready to go right now. Ty, your question for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron, glad to see you're in good spirits today. Everyone, like last year, is going to write you guys' obituary today and this week, so that'll be fun to revisit later in the year. But I did love seeing you, out there lead blocking like Ronnie Bass, lowering a shoulder, nearly fucking decapitating Big Z. But you got banged up pretty good. There was later in the game they're showing you on the bench getting your neck massage. How's the body feeling today? You feeling okay going into next week?
I feel like I just played a game. It's been about 8 months, so it's good to feel some contact again. I will say we were talking last night, a couple of buddies, about the best football movies of all time, and I brought up how it's amazing that
right here.
Yeah, he pulled off.
Right there.
Fuck
That
you.
one right there.
Fuck you. You said 3 times. That was awesome. That was amazing.
Yeah, a better athlete probably would have stayed up there.
I don't know, man. That's a big dude, bro.
But we were talking about it. Remember the Titans? One of the best plays is Sunshine. He flat backed like 4 guys on Rev's touchdown run.
Yep, to win the state title.
One of the greatest blocking displays ever, any position. But yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good. I'll be fine. Nate gave me a nice little neck massage there on the sidelines for a second, but yeah, every week is like a car crash. Could be big pile up, or it could be just a little fender bender when you run your car into the median or something on accident. But
seemed a little.
I think AJ's probably done that before.
I was about to say, it seems like a situation that has
Actually wakes him up.
Yeah,
See if he wants to share that story at some point. But no,
AJ crashed into a median.
does.
Never
Yeah.
would have guessed.
Huh.
Never would have guessed. This guy's a menace to our roads, Aaron. This guy.
he's a menace to a lot of things. He's just lucky he's got a great woman kind of dressing him in the mornings, making sure he showers, brushes his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Eats more than eggs and chicken in the day.
What?
So, yeah.
Aaron, why is everybody going shotgun on the 1 yard line?
What's the deal?
You agree?
Well, there's this. For years, it was always big personnel, right? It was 23 personnel. And you got in your goal line packages, and you had your specific plays. And then a lot of people went away from it and just kind of took goal line out altogether. We don't even really have 23 plays in the plan. We have some 12 plays and some 13 plays, but no 23 plays. I'm talking about personnel here, so 2 backs, 3 tight ends. It's just not many people. There's especially this offense, and this offense is now at 7 or 8, 9, 10 teams maybe. There's not a lot of goal line emphasis in this offense. A lot of teams like to stay in 11 and do some things, and had some success. And when it goes well, everybody's like, yeah, why would you ever put in big personnel in the game? And when you get stuffed on the one, or a guy fumbles like last night, people are probably wondering why the heck you don't have big personnel in. That's the beauty of the media. They can take whatever side they want.
Have you talked to Hackett since last night? He's taking it on the shins right now about the whole timeout, 64-yarder at the end. If McManus, who is an incredible kicker, I'm a big fan of, with a big leg, he makes that kick and they have less time on the clock after the kickoff to get back into field goal range, he looks like a genius. But since it was a 64-yarder and the chances are low and he misses, he looks like an idiot. I guess that's just the NFL, and Hackett knows that that's what comes with the territory of being a head coach, you think, or what?
Yeah, he's got real thick skin. I'm not worried about Hack at all. I was texting with him before our game, and then during the day yesterday, and I love him. He's a great man, great coach. I thought once they took it down that the right thing to do was the kick. If they had called timeout right away, obviously the idea would have been to go for it there. It was kind of that tweener. They're on the 36.
No, 46.
46, yeah, the 46-yard line. I mean, McManus got 2 kicks at it too. Yeah. You got the pre-timeout one that he missed a little left, and he adjusted slightly and still missed it. It looked like it was long enough though. They didn't have that graphic where you can see if it would have made it from whatever, but it looked like it was long enough. Just missed a little bit left. And again, that's what they can do. He decides to go, to kick it. He makes it. Great decision. There's only 15 seconds left on the clock. He misses it. Oh, why'd you take the ball out of, Russell's hands, and blah, blah, blah. So that's the way it goes. You got to stick to your guns and believe in what you're doing. Mason's got a big leg. I don't think he has 64. So in that situation, we probably would have burned a timeout right away with about 50 seconds and gone for it.
Now, I assume this is all situations or situational and it can be figured out. They could go hard count timeout there, right? You can go hard, because 4th and 5, steal 5 there if you want. Everybody kind of knows, though. Does hard counts ever work?
Yeah, hard counts can work.
No, yours are always, you fucking kill people. But like on the 4th and 5, everybody on the defense is like water, right? Like everybody is basically.
Yeah, yes, and it's still, first of all, it wouldn't be a hard count, right? because they're on the road. So they're playing in Seattle. So it would be silent count. And their silent count is guard tap. And guard tap, there's pluses and minuses to each decision making. So we do foot, right? So I raise my foot up and down. Josh looks under, looks up, snaps the ball. The disadvantage of that is that he has to rely on his guards to tell him, where the turn is going to, where the guys are at, who's walking around, all that stuff. And his first look is he's already snapped it, and he's got to get the picture, right? For the guard tab, it's allowing the center to have his eyes down the field the whole time. The only drawback is, in my opinion, it's much harder to ever get anybody to jump on guard tap because there's such a rhythm to it, and it's a little bit slower, where the center up and down is so rhythmic that if you get a guy into a rhythm, every now and then you can get somebody to jump in a certain situation.
You do what? Yours is tones, all your hard counts at home. Isn't that what it is? It's like rhythm, tone. It's hard to pick up, but once you have it, it's a complete weapon. Does anybody else do what you do?
Well, I like Pat's. Pat has a number of cadences that he rolls through in Kansas City, and they do a bunch of different things with second and third cadences and quick cadences. It's having a good mix of all of it. It's the times to get him to jump off sides is when you feel like there's a rhythm to it. Maybe you've gone on the same count 80 or 90% of the time of the last maybe 10 or 15 plays, and you change up the count significantly. But it's a weapon because it doesn't allow the defense to really fire off the ball. And that's what, obviously, you're playing in Seattle or a loud environment, much easier for those guys to be able to get a jump on the snap count because it's obviously going to be a little bit just a tick off for the tackles, especially getting off the ball. But at home, it can be a weapon. Draw them off sides if they decide to jump, or making sure that they're, just a tick late, making sure that ball's snapped first, so we're actually getting the slight advantage on the count.
I used to do that for field goal snaps, no big deal. We're going on 4 this time. All right, let's go. Let's show 4 on film on an extra point so that the other team sees that, hey, this could be on 4. Then all the big guys, the offensive linemen, hate it in practice. Fucking hate it. But in the game, nobody's coming. So it's like a gift and a curse. You got to have everybody on the same page there. With the movable offensive linemen that you have happening, can you be as aggressive with it whenever it's a new crew each week, it seems like?
Well, you got to. You got to hold them to the standard. Obviously it's about making sure you get that ball snap with everybody on the same page, but you got to hold them to the standard, and that's why in practice we're always mixing with it. It's very, very rare, if ever, that any back-to-back plays are on the same cadence. So we're always mixing it up, and we have a number of cadences. I don't need to go through them all, but we have a number of different cadences that we can.
You get different numbers and colors you use?
The colors and numbers is the snap point within those colors and numbers that can change from time to time.
Jesus.
Wow. Did you take the color number from Brett?
I adjusted his color number, but I used the same colors. Yes, green and blue.
Green 19? Is that what is yours?
Green 19.
In blue 19?
Blue 58.
Oh, because the L in blue there and the R in
blue
green.
80.
Yeah.
Are we figuring it out? Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Change
This is
those.
competitive advantage. That's why people
Joe
don't do
Kane
this
used
shit.
blue 80.
Who?
I think. Joe Kane from the program, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll check.
I can promise you the colors in no way are related to direction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what somebody would say if it was, by the way. That's
Zero correlation.
Hey, you cut your hair, you look awesome. What made you do that? Why, at what point, was there a certain moment where you're like, you know what? Time to get the AJ Hawk and turn into a fucking sex magnet. Is that what it was?
Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't make it to Supercuts like AJ, but
Sports Clips.
Sorry, Sports Clips, my bad.
Hey, we almost had a deal with
MVP treatment.
We almost had a deal with Sports
No, I never
Clips.
get the massage.
Well, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Come on.
AJ wouldn't get
Refuses
the
to
MVP
hop
treatment.
out. Fool.
Let him answer, guys.
Massage is that, AJ?
What's that?
Which massage is it?
The MVP treatment at Sport Clips, I do not do that. It's extra money. I just get the quick cut, but you can continue with your answer. I'm sorry.
The one, this type of massage or a different one?
Whoa!
Whoa! Get your head out of the gutter.
Too soon.
Jeez.
No, I meant like you're drinking coconut water, you get your feet rubbed.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Sounds
exactly.
amazing.
Sure.
I don't know if that's what the MVP thing is, but AJ refused to get it, so we couldn't make a deal with Sports Clips. So you tell me about it, Aaron. That's what this fucking guy is like. It's a menace.
No, but I definitely, I've seen AJ rock a similar hairstyle for a long time and always enjoyed it. Tim Odie, you know Tim Page.
Yes.
Tim has always been the stylish one in the equipment room, and he has a beautiful coif that looks very similar, just a little more gray than mine. But I think when I saw my picture from the NFL honors, I said, "Whew, might be time to."
Was it the suit or the hair?
All right. So if I did all my hippie shit after that, okay, at some point I'm going to cut this. It just finally came to be, last Friday.
Wait, hold on. Weren't you in the middle of a Pancha Karma puking shit routine in the middle of that NFL honors while you were wearing that full cowboy John Wayne tan suit with the hair flowing? Is that the picture you saw? You shouldn't have judged yourself in there.
Listen, I don't know where you're getting your information about Pancha Karma, but there's no puking in Pancha Karma.
No, I heard attic basement, same damn time. That's how you get the evil spirits out. That's what I heard. Get the evil out of it.
Ayahuasca, that can happen, yes.
Oh, thank you.
But not Pancha Karma. We're crossing streams here, okay? Let's
we do that?
Get our info right.
All right, so you decided to cut the hair after all the hippie stuff. The hippie stuff was obviously a topic of conversation for everybody in their life. How has the drawback been with the teammates? Did everybody come up to you and be like, hey, what's ayahuasca like? Or has your offseason been topic of conversation with your younger teammates at all, and how has that been?
Oh, man, it's been interesting to hear from so many different guys across the league, people... men and women that I know or that I don't know reached out and asked questions about it. People from my past, acquaintances, friends, close friends who didn't understand it or wanted to learn more about it. And then teammates too. A lot of teammates pulled me aside and asked me about it, interested in it, want to know more about it, want to know more about my experience with it. So it's been fun. Made for some interesting cafeteria conversations, and anytime you can share some information like that, I think it's always a good thing. And I've been on some fun. Got to do Rogan's podcast finally. Got to be on with Aubrey, which was amazing. I just talked to Bill Maher, had a nice conversation with Bill. So it's been fun. Kind of the people that have come into my sphere, both not just through the ayahuasca sharing, but also through the dealing with COVID last year. Yeah, it's been quite a year.
We're talking about the shot you finally got on the Sunday conversation with Caleb Presley.
Yeah, that was fake.
What?
Oh, what? Excuse me?
What?
I was in the room. I thought it was.
Remember where it happened?
I wasn't even allowed to say, like, hey, I just watched Caleb Presley vaccinate Aaron Rodgers. I was told directly I wasn't allowed to say that because that was not real.
Didn't AJ come on and say it that I was vaccinated or something?
Yeah. I was like, AJ, we have any big news to break in the next hour? He goes, Aaron's vaccinated. That was just on a random fucking Wednesday. What, do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
the off season.
Yeah, it was.
That's classic AJ. Yeah, just a wild card.
I read the text wrong. I'm sorry.
Hey, have you gotten back into your full season routine, and has that been anything? Have you just picked up right where you left off every single year whenever you show back up for the season? Or are you having fun?
Well, I think it adjusts. It definitely adjusts. Every year, in the off season, I like to sit down and write down, think about what worked, what didn't work, kind of like an end of the season review for myself and what I want to change. So it's going back and revisiting some of those ideas and thoughts, and then adjusting. That's what I did the week off before the season started, was look at my each day and how do I want each day to go. What are the important things I need to get done? Where's time for just relaxation and turning my mind off? And then, what do I want to add to my routine? What kind of doesn't really work? And then just figure it out to where I'm feeling my best each week. And there's been some adjustments with it, but for the most part, it's pretty similar. Just kind of plan my week around this, 45 minutes to an hour, basically.
Well, we're happy to hear that. And thankfully you showed up today because, a lot of people on the internet that weren't privy to seasons 1 and 2 of this particular Tuesday program that happens. Aaron ain't coming.
Yeah.
Aaron ain't showing up after that Vikings game. It's like he sits in an incredibly comfortable chair in his house, in the pocket, in the fire, in the Thunderdome every Tuesday regardless. And this is another one of those where we can't thank you enough. Connor has a question for you, Aaron. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Aaron, last year Kirk Cousins said, if I die, I die. Did you guys meet at midfield and kind of, give each other a fist bump and congratulate each other on making it past COVID?
No. I respect Kirk a lot. I've played against him a number of times now over the years, and also respect his right to have an opinion about his own health and to make a decision which he feels is in the best interest. And there's zero judgment at all with him or anybody else who decides to make their own decisions. But I for whatever reason, that just reminds me of that fake quote that was out there about how close me and Kirk are, spending time together in the off season.
The internet's awesome right now. Fake quotes are going more than they've ever gone in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Actual counts are getting got.
That's not what happened. I like Kirk a lot. I think he's a super nice guy, a very good player. But I haven't spent a lot of time with him off the field over the years. But no, we both made it through the winter of death, thankfully, and good to see us both still out there.
Maybe you guys do ayahuasca together, you and Kirk. Sweet, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ.
Aaron, I heard you on Club Random with Bill Maher. You told him that you're a throwback player. You're one strap, chin strap, no mouthpiece, like weird baggy pants, your big high tops, and your socks straight out of the box that they give you, so you look like the guy in the poster. You mentioned you got to see Brett Favre. Did Brett tell you all these things to do to be a tough guy, or did you just watch and absorb it?
What the fuck?
That's what you said, man. I just listened.
Aaron, what's wrong with this guy, dude?
I just listened. Bill Maher was smoking dope. I just listened to it.
Bro, Moore's smoking dope.
What?
He was.
All right,
it's
Bill.
legal in California.
It's not legal.
I don't know, Age. Is that a real question?
I'm serious though. You got smashed that one play.
Brett had like 300,000 straight starts, right? Never missed a start. And he wore a single chin strap, didn't wear rib pads, didn't wear a mouthpiece.
What?
So I was like, all right, that's a standard. And then I always had bad ankles going back to high school. And for those 3 years I was a backup, I never taped my ankles. Part of it was, I'm like, well, shit, I ain't going on the game. The other part was like, after the first year, I was like, man, my ankles feel so much better. When I roll them now or have a slight roll, there's no issues. It doesn't swell up, doesn't bother me. And I realized that the less I was taping them, the more it was taking pressure off of my knee, because basic science, and I had basic science. I didn't even want to use those two words in the same sentence, but when you lock up one joint, right, the pressure goes to the next joint, either up or down. So you lock up the ankle, there's naturally a little more pressure, structural pressure that goes to the knee. And so having a bad knee for so long, since I was in high school, I felt like, and maybe this was just a placebo effect, which is very powerful as well, but I felt like God, I miss this show, man.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
It's great to have you.
I felt like I was taking pressure off of my knee if I had ankles that were stronger, and I got them stronger to not taping my ankles. So it was against kind of conventional wisdom. As a young basketball player, I was always, you got to have your ankle braces, you got to tape your ankles. And the less I taped my ankles, the stronger they got. The stronger they got, the less pressure and pain was going to my knee, and my overall leg health improved. So
you had to take the rope off like you're Batman in that cave.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta
rise.
You gotta rise. You gotta take the rope off. It's holding you back a little bit. The tape on the ankles was holding back the rest of your body.
Yes.
I'm happy we learned that. Look at us, bub. Rest of the week, we're working hard. We're chatting up the teammates. We're having dinner. What does this week look like as we go forward with a new group of people?
Well, COVID is over, supposedly. So
is it?
Thursday, I'm back to being invited to the we're going to have O-line dinners again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, we beat COVID and O-line dinners are back. All right, look at us, dude. Yeah, man.
So we had one last week. It was lovely. We had a good time. Everybody showed up. So look forward to that on Thursday. On Friday, I believe there's some sort of concert in town.
Who?
The Killers?
Nickelback?
I wish.
They were in Austin this past week when I was down there. I found out late.
Ozzy Osbourne?
Is it patient number 9? Is it Bob Ritchie? Who is
Zito,
it?
Resch Center. Look it up, Zeke.
Zeke, look up who it is. There's a reason he's not telling us. You're definitely going to this concert?
He's going on stage.
I don't remember exactly who it is, but I think I'm
Dixie Chicks.
Ooh.
No, it's
just the chicks.
Just the chicks now.
And they're
Look at us. We all know. Look at us.
I didn't know.
Oh,
Clearly.
It's Luke Combs, I think.
Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Fucking love that guy.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy the hell out of your week. We appreciate you so much. We'll start the book club next week. Once we get the $100,000 donations figured out this week, you're the best. Can't wait to see what the Packers look like for the rest of the season. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, on Sunday Night Football, boys.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Bird on. Been waiting all day for a Sunday night. Scott.
My gang, Chris.
Stir up a fire.
Aaron's on drugs.
I hope they add that in.
They will.
They remix every week. You know?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I wonder if they wrote the song before or after the ayahuasca news drop. You know what I mean?
I noticed that, I believe it was Thursday night, first game of the year, Collinsworth didn't slide in. You think that's what happened to his voice? They fucking... because he didn't slide in.
Did he get dressed at all?
The football,
Yeah, he did.
The slide or the dress?
His voice.
So the slide was not a dress. His voice was. Tirico said, this man's done 3 things in 3 days. Travel got the best of him. I think allergies are hitting everybody. Last week, and I felt for Chris Collinsworth, because whenever you have a profession that has a microphone and speaking, and you have no idea if your next word is going to be heard or not in the middle of a sentence, that is a tough mental battle to get through. I think at halftime and during commercial breaks, they were giving him some shit. He sounded better and better, but then as he got a little bit more tired, it kind of broke up. Allergies, I think, are hitting everybody right now.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Last week, I was having a problem. Had to take it up a nasal octave, which normally I'm nasal. I had to go up a little bit higher so the vocal cords would maybe show up for me. There was a couple conversations I was having, though, on College Game Day where I was like, oh, the next thing that comes out of my mouth is not going to be heard.
No. Yeah.
And I had to wrap up the sentence quickly. So I felt for Collinsworth there. He sounded fucking terrible. I can't wait for him to be back because I don't think people were listening to what he was saying. They were just talking about how he was saying it. And Chris is still Chris. We got to remember that.
I assume Cincinnati weather probably somewhat similar to what we've had here. All this goddamn rain, the ragweed count is so high.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want him to do?
There ain't no ragweed over in Green Bay right now. Aaron looks very comfortable.
He does.
Doesn't he? He looked very comfortable. Like, yeah, it's growing pains. We talked about this. We'd obviously want to win instead of a loss with it, but we'll move on. In the, it sounds like just kind of waiting for it to click for some guys. And once that happens, it doesn't seem like he's worried at all about a drop-off.
No, definitely not. And I think to your point, like we've kind of been talking about, like the Vikings aren't some also-ran. Like they have the chance to be very good this year. Like we might look at this game in 3 months and be like, oh shit, like, okay, the Vikings are for real. They're very, very good. So I don't think the panic level is high at all. Again, like I said, if they lay an egg against the Bears on Sunday night, I think people will kind of be like, whoa, what's going on? Are these receivers going to be able to figure it out? But I don't think any Packers fan is really that worried about that.
Bears are undefeated. Packers completely defeated going into Sunday Night Football. Zito's happy. He had victory steaks. The gout didn't show up. Life is good for Bears fans. Let's get to a break. Let's take 5. We'll be back with some phone calls and wrap. Take 5?
5.
Big thanks to Aaron Rodgers for joining us and for everybody that's watching. We're going to take 5, take some phone calls, probably do a giveaway because it's the first Aaron Rodgers Tuesday of the season. Woo. Have to do that. We'll see you in about 5 minutes wrapping up this glorious September 13th, 2022 show. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
What's
on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you, Owen. I'm taking her on
and
the
also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Oh, and the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go, Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He's making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There was a lot more.
Yeah,
there was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them, so I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to... Oh, mama, I'm in here for my life. Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm
clock. We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? Why'd you let... I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah!
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, I'm the heart of the Jets, nigga. I spit that shit they need to hear when they be scratching.
SeatGeek is the sponsor of today's show, and we got a special promo for you all.
Yeah.
You've heard us talk about SeatGeek's 10% discount?
Yeah.
But in honor of football being back, they gave us an exclusive link that gives us all 15% off football tickets. Yeah, 5% more. That's huge. Whether you're a first-time buyer or not. College, NFL, SeatGeek has you covered. Just click the link in the description, and the 15% off code will be auto-applied to your account. No code, Doesn't matter if you've purchased on SeatGeek before. That definitely made sense. 15% off football tickets.
Attaboy, Bruce.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Hey,
SeatGeek,
Bruce.
as well. AJ Hawk joining us. That was Boston Connor that just read that ad for SeatGeek. Ty Schmidt sitting next to him. One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. Tone Diggs is there. AJ, what did you learn from your good friend Aaron Rodgers after that conversation there?
He seems to be calm. He's not overreacting, not freaking out. I'm sure he knows the outside world is. I think seems to be in a good spot. I would imagine Wednesday, like tomorrow morning when they start that install meeting and everything, he is already knows exactly what the plan is and will probably be pretty vocal on what he wants to get accomplished throughout the week.
It seems like that's how he's been this entire training camp. A lot more coaching, a lot more accountability almost upon his shoulders, which is what he's been asking for, right?
Yeah.
A little bit more saying some things, a little bit more empowerment from the team. He's got a young crew. We don't really know any of these motherfuckers, but I assume they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, that's why when the Jair Alexander thing came out about him not covering Justin Jefferson the whole game, even though he was asking for it, I thought was kind of weird. It's like, I feel like you hang your hat on Jair Alexander in the secondary. You're not going to have him shadow Justin Jefferson?
I wonder if it's just as easy as that, too. But Jair Alexander knows more than we do.
If you're locked down corner, isn't that kind of a thing? Like when you're playing with a guy?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, what if Kevin O'Connell was using Justin Jefferson in a manner that is just like, what if they just...
They mentioned on the broadcast, too, like the other 10 guys have to know what they're doing. Yeah, Jair's good, but then it also affects the other guys, too. They got to know what they're doing, too.
I think growing pains is going to take place. We didn't get to ask him, though, about how much hype we heard about the defense.
Right.
And then Justin Jefferson goes for $2 bills or whatever. So I guess we did not get to ask Aaron about that.
I was also thinking, though, not after the game, because in the moment, it's just like, Jesus Christ, Justin Jefferson is wide open. There's no one within 20 yards of him. But then, you look at that play from Devontae against the Chargers, sometimes, he's one of the best receivers in the league. Sometimes these guys are just so fucking good, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, Devontae Adams obviously shook Asante Samuel on that one where he was wide open. Justin Jefferson's both plays. This is Aaron blocking Zadarius Smith. Justin Jefferson's plays, both drag routes, and I assume they cleared out for him to come across because, it's both him coming from one side of the field to the other. So that's a lot of tracking, I think. Obviously, he's Justin Jefferson, so that's going to be difficult regardless. But both plays, it's him coming all the way across. And I think that's going to take a lot of communication. That's going to take a lot of, conditioning and cardio. And you got to keep up with a guy who's been untrackable for his entire NFL career. What if that Kevin O'Connell offense is just, you know what I mean? What if they are?
Absolutely could be. They really could be. We know they have stars everywhere you look on that team. So let's see if Kirk can continue to play good, efficient football like he did too.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to the 5 Energy phone line. Let's go to Valerie in Minnesota. Valerie, what's going on in Minnesota on the 5 Energy phone line?
Hi, Pat. I just got married this weekend to Rahul Iyer, who should be listening at work right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's a huge football fan. He was already on a team fantasy football strategy call, driving to our reception right after our wedding. My question is, what's your advice for balancing marriage and relationship and the love of football?
Valerie, congratulations. We hope that every single day you two wake up next to each other, it's a good one. Congratulations, honestly, on everything.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Yeah.
How'd she feel about that?
So she brought it up there, so I assume she noticed it, and it was one of the mistakes. Valerie, if you don't like football at all, I do think this might be a tough go with old Rob. But if you also enjoy football, there's always a place that you can meet in the middle on what we're doing, I think. Like Sam enjoys football, NFL football, because she grew up in Indianapolis. The Colts were very good throughout her entire thing. So she's a big fan of NFL football. Now, this new college football dedication that's happening, it's going to take her a little bit, I think, to get used to this particular life that's happening. But I think if Valerie doesn't like football at all, which she has to, that's why she's calling into the show, right? I would assume.
Yeah, and if he's on a strategy call for fantasy football directly after their wedding reception, she has to be somewhat okay with it.
Yeah, she had to have known.
Aware that
it's surprising. Do you think it just shocked her all of a sudden?
So. Yeah, Rob just didn't even watch football while they're dating.
I'm on 15 fantasy teams. I got 13 calls a day.
Hey, I want to let you know, our bank accounts are joined now officially because we're married. You're going to see a lot of withdrawals to different leagues, but it's going to come back about 6 months. 6 months, 6 months, it's going to come back. Is that right? How many leagues are you in? Well, funny you say that because I'm missing one of the calls right now.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. Oh, my
Hold
God.
that thought.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Valerie, you're going to be fine. Hey, Valerie, Rob, good luck.
Good luck. You guys got it.
They'll figure it out. You guys will figure it out for yourselves. You'll make your own path. You'll make your own way. You love each other. Remember that. Right, AJ?
Sure.
Whoa.
I mean, day one,
What's
you
your
got day one.
deal?
She's calling for advice on issues with his love of fantasy football.
Well, I think she wanted to call in and say what's up to him, too. A little
Oh,
surprise.
good. Yeah, I mean, they'll be fine. I just think hopefully he didn't take her by surprise and give her the old rope-a-dope. Like, oh no, I don't really do much of this. And then all of a sudden they got married. He's like,
By the way,
I got her.
That's catfishing.
Yeah.
That is catfishing.
That happened.
I mean, it's only one full day of the week. I mean, if you don't, just go do something else on Sunday night and watch football. So.
Well, then it's Monday and Thursday.
What?
Yeah,
So 3 nights and one full day.
So you think about a full week, it's 7 days with the calendar we use. Now, that calendar might be wrong, especially with the Earth spinning a little bit faster now.
True. Sure.
But 3 out of the 7 are taken from NFL football, though.
Only for 6 months.
So
Half
half
the
the week
year.
for half the year.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I appreciate Sam paying attention to games that she does not give a fuck about just because she knows, and I appreciate that. But there are certain times where I feel bad. Like a game will be going terrible, and we have zero real
Investment.
fandom in it. It's like I gotta watch this because I gotta know what
I'm gonna
this
have to talk
fucking.
about this all day.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm gonna have to. I do feel bad, but I don't think Valerie and Rob are like that.
Well, I also do think it's different for people who don't do what we do, where it's like that really is work. It's like, I
have to pay
I
attention.
know this game
Yeah.
sucks, but I really do have to talk about this all day tomorrow.
And I appreciate Sam for understanding. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you to all the significant others of this office for everything.
Yeah.
By the way,
Of course.
everything.
And also, that's why it's nice, Amazon came into Thursday night, because now the Thursday night games that in the past might have been pretty shitty.
Now they're pretty good.
Kind of sweet.
Like this Thursday, huge game.
Yeah,
Huge game coming up on Thursday. I assume week 2 is going to somehow top week 1, and it kicks off on Amazon Prime with the Chargers taking on the Chiefs. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and a cast of stars with Al Michaels and Herb Street on the call. It should be an electrifying Thursday night. Week 1 just finished up. Week 2 is right around the corner. Valerie and Rob are going to dive all the way in. I'm pumped. What a way to start week 2, AJ.
I mean, Kirk, Al Michaels, Amazon Thursday Night Football. How did they get this game? This is awesome. I'm so glad they did.
Oh, well, Bezos, you see, started in an apartment, and he had spray paint Amazon in the back. And they told that really weird-looking nerd that he was going to fail. And he said, no, I'm buying everything. I'm buying everything. I'm buying everything to sell everything. And then now he goes to space for fun on Tuesdays, you know? Yeah. So he has this big old bank account that everybody on Earth knows about because it's tracked every single day. Is he the richest guy? Are they the richest company in the world? Or are they number 2 behind Elon? It's a conversation. So the NFL goes, hey, if it works out with these people for their first time being the exclusive, there's probably a much bigger deal that could even happen maybe even next year or down the road. So the NFL is good business. The NFL understands its fans. They KYC.
Yeah.
They know your customer, the NFL does. Thursday nights are a big night. They know Amazon's got a big bank. Let's go ahead and make our fans happy, our customers happy, and our business partners happy. And let's assume that the next bank is going to be a bigger bank somehow. That's how.
Yeah, I understand the NFL absolutely wants Amazon to have a great experience here with these Thursday night games because Amazon pretty much owns everything already. What's this last frontier, that appointment watching TV where people watch live? That's the NFL.
25 million Sunday night.
Yeah.
Go look through all the ratings thing and just see what's close. Nothing. Maybe the Super Bowl. That's it. So the NFL knows that. Amazon knows that. And also, Apple's watching.
Yeah.
They're seeing Amazon got Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, first Thursday night game. Oh, maybe they'll get in there. And the NFL knows that there's other platforms that have more money looking in there. They want it to be a success. It's great for everybody, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and the best part is Amazon said, you know what, if we're going to do this, let's do this. Give me fucking Al Michaels and give me Kirk Herbstreit, 2 guys that everybody basically universally loves, and one guy that the NFL's been trying to get for a long time to call their games. They crush it. And now if they get games like this that, not like the Cowboys books, like these ones that might actually go and be
Fireworks.
Fireworks. Then we're in for a nice little Thursday night this season.
Golly.
Incredible.
Are we going to Wisconsin to hear Long Neck Guys Go Beer and broke my heart with Luke Combs?
That'd be awesome.
He's a showman.
Yeah.
He's a superstar.
Icon.
Yeah, but he's a showman too. Like when he's on the stage, he's going all in.
Have you seen him in person?
No, I watched him at CMA Fest, and he had a whiskey cup,
What?
chugged that, threw that in there. It was belt full, high, all the way out. Then he got a drumstick and started smashing a cymbal at the end. Threw that into the crowd, threw his hat into the crowd. I'm like, this guy,
Showman.
This guy's a showman. This guy understands. Like, hey, the song is the song. People are going to follow along, but also we're paying a lot of money to see a guy up on a stage, and he goes. He respects the craft, I believe.
I saw him. I was there, and he did. He put on a hell of a fucking show.
It's Luke
Tore the
Combs,
house
baby.
down.
It's fucking Luke Combs. And those are his words.
Stage presence. Stage presence is key to performing. Like I love when someone has great stage presence. I don't really care how good of a singer they are. I want them to put on a show.
Okay, me too. I think singing helps though, and he can
Yeah, it
live.
does, but that's secondary to me. Like I want to see that they're up there, juiced to be there. They're excited and they're passionate about what they're doing.
In the song he's singing, he wrote, so it's his words.
Yeah.
So like I feel like I'm learning about the person. I'm watching him do his thing. It's a show. He's a showman. I need to go see him live. Let's talk about seeing somebody live. TJ Watt will be back this season because it has been announced that TJ Watt has torn a muscle in his pec, not a ligament in his pec. Ligament in pec, IR, gonna have to get surgery. Muscle in pec can rehab, hopefully build up the other muscles around it, help rehab that muscle that was torn back together. He should be back in 6 weeks. He posted a Terminator gif saying, I'll be back. And everybody is sitting around Pittsburgh waiting for that day because he started out remarkably. 3 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, one of them being an interception, a menace all day, and he says he'll be back. AJ, your thoughts on TJ's diagnosis? This is a big sigh of relief for everybody.
This is obviously, it sounds like TJ is very, very relieved and excited that this is the case. He probably thought instantly, yeah, there we go. Surgery, I'm on IR the rest of the year. I missed this whole season. I started out great in this first game after coming off defensive MVP. So this is huge news for all of Steelers Nation, for Nick Moraldo, for Tone, for all of you guys. I think I'm super happy for TJ because right here I felt terrible.
Yeah, Yinzers are rejoicing, and Yinzers at this moment were like, oh no. Everybody became lip readers. Everybody became a pessimist. Derek Watt even comes up and goes, no, my brother's gone. The reigning defensive MVP. This is such an interesting play because it was clearly hands to the face. I mean, hey, get the fuck out of here, Leo, he says. But then Joe Burrow using his legs. So he's like doing a squat. TJ is going for a rip down. It's classic, just uncomfortable, awkward, explosion. And it's just like that's a game of football where something can pop with a play that nobody would expect like that, AJ.
Yeah, you never know. Like you see, like even in the game last night, there's some monster shots and everybody pops up. I'm like, oh, someone's dead here. Every once in a while you think that. And then play like this, which some people may not think looks like a whole lot, bam, 6-8 weeks.
It's just an awkward, he's going full rip on that arm, trying to win the game, fourth quarter, 20 seconds left. And then Joe has his feet. He isn't off balance at all, so he's fighting everything against it. So it's tit versus quads, basically, in this situation. And in this particular case, the squat beat out the bench and tore a muscle, which is probably going to take place 10 times out of 10. But there's other times where Joe Burrow has somebody at his feet, maybe he's off balance, and that rip is enough to get him down. But Joey Burrow said he prides himself on his mental, physical toughness, not going down ever. And TJ got an uncomfortable, awkward, but thank God he's all the way back.
Yeah, it's like Jamal Adams last night.
He's going to be all the way back, sorry.
They're saying he tore his quad, and it looked just like a routine kind of play, and then all of a sudden he gets up and he can barely walk over the sideline.
That stuff's scary, dude.
Yeah.
That stuff
is he out for the year? For sure.
Quad.
I assume so.
Yeah. Did he rupture it? Did he rupture the tendon? Like what happened?
I don't think we've gotten the actual medical results out yet. It's just every conversation is, he's fucked.
He's fucked, yeah.
Sir, if it's ligaments, it has surgery. And surgery means probably done, right, on muscle tears?
Yeah. And there was something with his hand during training camp.
Yeah, he was playing with like a broken hand as well.
That they're gonna
he was going to play the whole year with it, right? He needs surgery after the season, I think.
Yeah. He was flying around last night, too. That's a damn shame. Peyton was talking up Jamal Adams a lot in the Manning cast last night. He's a big fan of that.
If he has to get surgery on his quad, I would say, hey, buddy, fix these fingers up while you're at it.
Yeah.
And also, can I get LASIK? I mean,
please.
There we go.
While we're here, let's just
Just do everything.
I'm not going to be able to move, right, with this quad. Going to be bedridden for how many, 7-8 days or whatever? All right, let's take care of everything. I got this elbow thing I'd like to.
Tennis elbow.
Give me 45 surgeries at once, please. Bring all the doctors. I need quad doctor. I need arm doctor. I need hand doctor. I need eye doctor. Just everybody come in one time and make sure that guy gives me enough of the drugs to pass me out for 2-3 hours.
It is easy to forget when you're just kind of watching these games all day. But when you go back and watch some of these plays in slow motion, how violent it is on every single play. Especially if you're playing D line or some of those.
What about the corner last night, Ty? Was it Bolin? Bolin comes up, annihilates the lead blocker, and then annihilates the running back, and he pops his shoulder out.
Javonte put his helmet right in his shoulder or arm or whatever.
Guys will have their shoulders pop out of place on a regular basis, and they're like, just pull it, and it goes right back in there. All right, what's the play? It's like, you maniacs. And it is probably because a lot of people talk about how soft the game is, that people are kind of getting comfortable with the sport for the future. They forget, hey, when people are moving 20 miles an hour at each other, and they only have shoulder pads and a helmet on, there's a chance massive collisions are going to happen, and those are taking place every single play. And the game can get as soft as it wants. It's still going to be a physical gladiator-style sport that people are going to love, and we should always remember that whenever we look at these guys beating the shit out of themselves for our entertainment and a payday. They're all getting paid. So I guess we should keep that in account as well.
Yeah, for sure. And there aren't as many as there used to be, but you'll look every week, there's still good guys getting just blasted in the head, old
every
school
play.
shots. Yeah, all the time.
No.
Fucking love
No.
It takes courage to run and hit. It's one thing to be close quarters battles. Hey, I'm a Sam linebacker. I'm walked up on a tight end. Close quarters, okay, here we go. Who's tougher in the moment? But to have space, safety and running back, all of a sudden the hole opens up. Running back's coming downhill. Adrian Peterson with 12-yard running start. Safety's running at him 8 yards away. It takes a lot of courage to be okay, here we go, buddy. I'm going as fast as I can.
That's what at this dude. That's what Rex Ryan said. Rex Ryan said our sport is a sport that it takes courage to play. You're scared, but you're going out there anyways. And I think
try to tell little kids, yeah, man. Everybody, hey, I'm hey, they're really scared too. They're scared that you're going to kill them. So how about let's try to figure that out? We're all in the same boat, really.
This guy. Everybody's scared, man. But if we're all going to be scared and we're going to be in here, you're getting knocked out.
I'm just saying, kids especially. They assume everybody else is the Terminator. I'm no, you're playing other kids.
Yeah, everybody's human.
Yeah.
NFL.
You think people think that in the league too?
Really? You think so?
Well, no, people think I think sometimes when people talk about the change from college to the NFL, yeah, of course, everybody's really good in the NFL. Everybody's really fast. Everybody can run. But guess what? I tried to tell people, I said, these guys were all in college at one point too, bud. They were all rookies. They were young. They're not aliens. Well, some of them might be hybrids. We know that for sure now. But they're still humans. They were young in the league at once too. So they're they'll figure it out.
We know that for sure now. He said. Yeah. That's a matter of fact. We know for sure now. There's
seems like it.
It does seem like it with what guys are getting bigger, stronger, faster at every position somehow. Love it. Great for the human race. If there's anything cooking.
It's been quiet. Been quiet on that front.
It has not
really.
been. There's
Has it really? No, it hasn't.
There's just shit popping up in the sky everywhere. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought.
I'm serious. I haven't I'm saying across in my algorithm, I haven't seen as much lately.
My algorithm just knows. They know.
Yeah.
My Lambda is fucking brand new potential thing in the sky. Put that in his palm.
Throw it to McAfee.
Of course, I knew it. Hey, Foxy, this is exactly what we saw. I sent right into the group. It just is never ending. Let's hit some more phone calls here. You were talking about safety running back. It's like kicker returner. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Same thing.
We're just staring. They need to put Justin Reed a kickoff specialist. If his hip feels good and his groin feels good, I would like to see him all year do what he does. And also, I'd like to see him get down there and
cover kicks.
Make him have to account for the kicker. That's awesome.
Yeah, because you can easily put a 5 back as a safety there, have the one of the 5s that's going to be accounted for by somebody else, and just let him go all the way through. He bombs the ball. He's already proven he's done that. And did you see the mic'd up segment that Kansas City Chiefs put out called The Huddle? They find out that Bucker's out. He walks up to the special teams coordinator, who I should know his name. He's a very good special teams coordinator. I apologize. He was always very nice to me. That's on me. Sorry about it. But he goes, hey, do you need me to kick off too? And the coach is like, yeah. He goes, what do you want me to do? Just kick it out of the end zone? And the coach laughs almost. He's like, yeah. And he's like, all right. And then the first one just fucking kicks it out of the end zone or whatever. There's no panic at all from Justin. He's like, all right, yeah, I'll do that. Jogging out for that first extra point, Because I thought about how I used to feel when I was just going out to hold for a standard extra point. There's like obviously a heightened energy. It's like, okay, here we go. Got to do something in a 1.2 seconds. That's going to be very fast. And all this happiness is gone if I fuck up. Like, there's a moment where you think like that. Justin just jogging onto the field like, yeah, I've never done this in my life before. Didn't know I was going to do this today. Just found out. And then fucking murdering it over the net like, I love this dude.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this guy. Middle of a real game. First quarter. First quarter of a game, he's actually playing it. I mean, it's awesome stuff. Let's go to a couple more phone calls and get the fuck out of here. We got to run up to Thunderdome and, hey.
Hammer some stuff out.
Monday?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, I said that last week. Last week, I was getting the predictions from other people. This week, it feels like it's mine.
Yeah, making your own judgment.
This is mine. This is my judgment.
Tentatively.
You know, like we could have.
And you can't control it. For some reason, it's not this next Monday. Like, you can't control the supply chain.
Yeah, it's not on you.
We technically could have went live from there a few different times. You know, plugged in.
There's no reason until it's ready, though.
Exactly.
You're unveiling a new place. It's been in the works for a long time.
We're not even gonna have. There's no need for a soft open.
No, why rush it? No. You know, when you're on the half-yard line,
especially with people.
Yeah.
See what
well,
happens.
especially not in shotgun.
Yeah, we're in shotgun right now.
No,
You know?
we are going.
And you said, fuck it, we're going under center.
Yeah, we're
QB
going under
sneaky.
center. Sure thing. And we are ass slapping straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go to the fence. Do you want to know how Mitt spelled Valerie from Minnesota?
Yep.
Yep. Yes.
VAAL.
Valory.
Valory.
Well, that's how they spell Mallory, right? I got a friend named Mallory.
Watching too much Thrones, the Valyrian is probably getting to his head.
No, the Valyrian would have helped him out here, I think. Right?
Probably.
Yeah, you're right.
In theory, yeah.
Mallory, yeah.
Yeah, but so you need to start watching it.
That's a song.
How do you want me to spell it, bro? Valerie, by the way, is how my daughter is spelled. I don't know about Valerie from Minnesota who just married Rob.
That's how the song is spelled as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mom's name spelling as well.
Every
Val
shout
Fox.
out that's ever
Shout out. So it's Valerie. You learned something today, man.
there you go, man.
Will you remember it tomorrow? Probably not.
No.
But it's all right, man. You're good at other stuff.
Hey, baby, Mitt.
Working hard, getting things done. Hot boy bets.
Yeah.
Driving a sweet car.
Sweet car.
Yeah.
Did I see Mitt had Seahawks money line last night?
He did.
Golly.
Wow.
Fucking baby, Mitt.
Yeah, bro.
Fucking told you guys.
You lose one sense, you gain another, man. Can't spell, but I got a sense of who's going to win games. How'd you know, Mitt? Was it Geno Smith? Was that the case?
Well, I actually thought that it was going to be a low-scoring game. I also had the under and Seahawks money line, and then I just thought Russ wasn't going to click well with his new offensive line or receivers, so I just had a hunch.
Broncos also fired his dad.
Yep, that's 100%.
Good point. Mitt revenge game.
Good on you, Mitt.
That's right, Mitt. He benefits from the whole thing.
Yeah, damn right.
Number one punter in the league right now?
AJ Cole.
Raiders punter, yeah.
Here we go.
Makes sense.
Whose fantasy teams are you on?
Oh, mine.
Oh, that's right.
That a baby, AJ. Let's keep fucking.
What does that mean? He's just punting backed up more than others?
I mean, yeah. After 1 week, you can't really judge, but
pinning him deep.
He's gonna do shit with Tom McMahon with how big his leg is. Like he's gonna be a weapon, I think, especially in the desert out there. That ball is gonna fly, and he is like this tall. Like he's a very tall fucking.
I need to go to a game out there. I want to go to that stadium.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, the Vegas. It's black on the outside, right?
Yeah, it's like the Death Star.
I was in Vegas when it was being built. Like it wasn't done, but it was being built. I was like, man, that is sweet.
It is very nice. It's right off the strip, right? It's on the other side of the highway, so I think it's easy to get to. When we went there for the WWE, it was one of the first shows. Traffic was impossible to get to.
Terrible.
The concessions weren't figured out yet, but I think now they have a
Don't
full.
they have, like trams running there from hotels? I would imagine.
I don't know.
No,
I don't think so.
You can walk though, but there's not.
You can't walk anywhere in Vegas, barely. Like,
Well-
that hotel's across the street. I got to walk across, up, over bridge, like 3 miles.
Technically, you can walk everywhere in Vegas. In theory, you can, but every single time you start to, you go, what the fuck? This is the largest hotel of all time.
Yeah.
I'm walking 4 miles just to get off of this property. Then I got to cross over 6 lanes, and then I got to walk through their entire property to get to it. And they're like, yeah, you can though. It's like, well, it's 145 degrees too. I'm hungover and or still drunk. No way am I doing
Yeah,
that.
not a chance.
We should go to a game, though. I think they got that suite area in the back, too, that we'd probably enjoy. Who do they play?
That would be sweet.
I mean, we could go
Good
to any
division
other
games.
division game, yeah. Any division they have at home.
We should try to get there.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
All right, let's take how many more phone calls? One or two?
Who's on from where?
Florida, Illinois, Akron, Ohio.
Akron.
Steven in Akron, Ohio. What's going on, pal?
Yo, Pat, AJ Boys, what's going on, man?
Just chilling. How are you, Steven?
Keep it moving.
Perfect.
Yes. I've been listening since you guys first came on, man. Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh, yeah.
Die-hard Browns, die-hard Seahawks fan. 2-0 feels fucking amazing this week with Geno and fucking Jacoby Brissett, two of the bottom barrel quarterbacks of the league.
Hold on. Steven. How are you a diehard fan of two teams in the same league?
AFC, NFC, Pat.
That's
okay. I respect it. He likes football enough to have he's a fan of both conferences. He doesn't just like the league. You guys are bad fans. He likes the Seahawks undefeated, obviously, with Geno Smith, who looks like an absolute dog in this reemergence into a starting role in Seattle, and Pete Carroll has fully empowered him, and Seattle was electrifying last night. Congrats to Geno and the Seahawks and to Stevens, one of his teams. The other team, the Browns, Jacoby Brissett's a guy. I was saying it whenever he was with the Colts. He's now with the Cleveland Browns. Good team around him. Go get a big-time win against Carolina Panthers off of Cade York's foot. Now, the Cleveland Browns are announcing, after being undefeated going into the season, new quarterback, new era, new logo on the middle of the Browns field. They're putting a fucking elf on the field. It is on there right now. I believe the elf's name is Bronny, the elf.
Bronny.
Big ears, little body, a lot of luck. That's what's going down in Cleveland, right, AJ?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what was. Why did they make this change?
Oh, because they wanted to usher in a new era.
Yeah.
They got a new stadium coming. They got a new thing cooking in Cleveland. New quarterback, new team.
What?
We're going to go on a run. We might have moved on from Baker, but we're in a better spot. Whammy! Bronny the elf in the fucking middle of the field.
Hell yeah.
And there he is dancing on top. Look at me! Look at me! The elf is wobbling and waddling around the field. The drone footage is electrifying. The elf is giving a goddamn stiff arm. To who? We don't know. Probably the haters. That's what Cleveland's got going on right now. They might win a goddamn Super Bowl because this elf is going to be running wild all season in Cleveland.
It is the most Mickey Mouse shit I've ever
That
seen.
thing fucking stinks.
That's backyard football. That's an embarrassment to the league. If
I
you're a
know
Browns
anything
player,
about-
you're probably
yeah.
pissed.
If I know anything about the Browns, things were going too well, and they need to do something to fuck it up.
Come on.
Jeez.
They're selling merch.
Oh, I'm
that
sure they're
thing.
selling a bunch of merch with that fucking thing on it.
Now, I did think that Cleveland was a gritty blue-collar city.
Yeah.
Now that they do have an elf in the middle of their field and an elf mascot, gonna have to question a lot of things.
Whoa.
That's on Rupp. Rupper,
Yeah, Rupper.
Rupper and Stipe and everybody, like they listen, we're not getting into that. I'm just telling
Bernie
you
Kosar.
what people are gonna say, okay?
Sure.
Many others from Cleveland.
Kevin Costner from draft day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come they didn't put that dog that's walking around?
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good question.
And it's a dog pound. They have a dog in the office. That all the dogs in the crowd would chew up that elf and spit the elf out.
I don't know, though. I kind of love Brownie the elf.
Why? Because the Heisman?
I mean, you talk about gritty. Santa rides them fucking elves harder than
Blue collar,
yeah,
you know
those blue collar sons of bitches cobbling shoes and stuff like that. And
That elf isn't.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he
Brownie,
looks like it.
Brownie fucking, you know what, he defected from Santa Claus down in
Yeah.
Cleveland.
I can't do this. I want to play football. That's what Brownie did.
Okay, so we like him even more.
No, I don't like a quitter.
kind of fits in perfectly.
It's not a quitter. It's a,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to take this blue-collar mentality and I'm going to drop it in the biggest league of all time. Sorry about it, Santa. Sorry about it, Scott Calvin. I'm fucking out of here. You want me to make these little wood and plastic toys all day, every day? You know what I want to do? Tote the rock around Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
And that's what Brownie's going to do.
No, Brownie quit on the kids, and you can't support that. You got to support the kids.
We try to get ears and boots on the ground in
What if he was
Cleveland.
fired
From
That he's a shitty worker. It
from
makes
Santa?
it
Santa
worse.
may have fired him.
No.
Because he sucks at work? Yeah.
No, I heard Santa's a Baker Mayfield guy. So,
Is that right?
so whenever, the
That
change
makes sense because
happens.
he is a kid.
What's your deal?
This guy.
Sorry, I forgot he's in Carolina. He fucking played really good on Sunday.
He did. He,
He,
ran that one in.
he didn't play
He
that
has
well, but-
matured
You
a lot.
scumbag.
He is
Threw
a
that
fucking
bomb.
fiery leader.
All right, let's just ask. Do you think in the past the Cleveland Browns a 58-yarder goes in to win the game? Or do you think maybe that lucky little elf shows up and Cade York is shaping shots with a draw from 58 that would have been good from 90 if he had to hit that thing? Rookie, mustache, bombing balls. You don't think Brownie the Elf is potentially a coinky-dink?
You're 1,000% correct that in the past that would not have gone in because that was their first win in week 1 in 17 years.
Brownie the Elf.
Brownie doesn't travel to away games. If anything, that was the Panther hopping around the stadium causing a fucking wind effect.
Oh, wait till you see what the Browns have. You think Brownie the Elf paint and Brownie the Elf mascot is something? Wait till you see his little fucking ass in 4D bouncing around like that Panther was in Carolina. He's going to be dangling on the
goalposts.
Yeah, he's going to be hanging.
Laughing like David Sampson.
Yeah, exactly.
So did Baker have him locked in the basement when Baker was living there and now he's let out? Or
That's potentially the thing. He was working. Baker had him working, and now he gets to live and free and celebrate. I'm happy for him.
Ugliest elf of all time.
They need to throw some fucking eye black on Brownie, and
That
then
would be cool.
we're in.
Okay,
People
now
there
we're
are
talking.
talking about ball security as well.
Let's zoom back in on
pretty
him.
shitty to me.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's toting that thing like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, what a clown. Brownie
What are you
is a
talking about?
bitch.
He's fast. He's not
Cover
a
the
bitch.
dish, man.
Brownie is a bitch.
He's going to run your fucking ass over.
He wishes Brownie's a fucking elf. They're like this big. Look, this is the size of Brownie. You think I'm worried about this little fucker carrying a football like a loaf of bread?
Well,
no.
That's an ugly gnome.
Which is the same thing as an elf.
No.
Yeah.
You think he's holding that ball
You
weird?
can't
Why?
say
'Cause
what you
he's-
just said.
With those shoes, you think that Brownie's gonna be burning without cleats on his feet? Come on.
Aerodynamic, you
right.
asshole.
It's got no traction.
Doesn't need it.
It's got sweet fingies though.
He's going to get all the home games, swinging Deshaun Watson's towel around his head, firing up the crowd.
All right, look at his. That's the show.
Gross hands,
Thanks
too.
for the call,
It's a stiff
Steven.
towel.
Honestly, thanks for the call. What's that?
I don't know if you call it show. I mean, you didn't talk about the sweet special team situation here in this city.
What happened?
They
Kicker
fired
got
the
fired.
Lego guy.
Yeah.
Well, Hot Rod, I do apologize. You had a hell of a run here.
What happened?
Well, he kicked 2 kickoffs out of bounds, one of them being to start the overtime period, and then he missed a 40-yarder way wide right. I assume he knew that the writing was on the wall. He was in a competition in training camp. I love Hot Rod. He's always been very nice to me. I thought he got stronger, was hitting balls better. He did not have a good first outing. They are moving on. Who knows who they're going to bring in? Yesterday, the Amendola got signed to
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, who had a kicking carousel competition that consisted of 6 kickers. 6 kickers went in there and worked out for one job. This is the kicker carousel that you get on. Then you make a team off of one of those workouts. Hopefully you get hot and you live there forever. You get cold, they're having another one of these workouts that has the who's who. Cameron Dicker, Elliott Fry, Chase McLaughlin, Cody Parkey, Tristan Vizcairo, and Matt Amendola.
How jacked is this dude?
Jacked. He's
Look at
from Missouri or Oklahoma State? Oklahoma State, maybe?
Jeez.
Yeah, he is a problem. He murders the ball, too. So hopefully this will be a home for him for the long term. But, yeah, man, the kicker carousel is no fun. There'll be another workout next week somewhere, and they'll see the same guys. And
Rodrigo will jump in now, won't he?
Yes. Or he'll take some time to fix some things, and then he'll say, all right, I'm back. And then the same guys go to every workout. Whoever has the best day gets the job. You get hot, you keep your job. You don't, everybody else is coming in the next week. And that's life like a kicker who has a 1-year deal with teams.
So you think the Colts are just going to get one of those remaining 5 guys?
Or another guy that's maybe didn't go work out, who's fixing something that
Like
might come out of the
Verity,
woods.
the guy who maybe they had
in camp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He might have figured some stuff out. you know.
Paisan, though, Vinny Vizcano. That'd be pretty sweet to bring him in.
Yeah, I'm okay with another Italian coming in.
Yeah.
Town.
What was that?
Mm-mm. The amount of Italian talk from you, it's overwhelming.
Well,
People that don't
I mean,
watch
this
this
guy would be the
program
face
think
of
you're really
poop at the
Italian,
bar.
I would imagine.
Well, of course.
Oh, then they see that and they're like, oh, is there some poop on here? He must have not taken it off this morning.
Whoa.
Nope, he did. Every time.
This guy.
You told us that.
Listen, poop on your fingernails. You get it. You listen to it every single day. You don't want to get poop on your fucking pinky ring, okay?
Yeah, listen.
Make another song.
I got poop on my pinky ring.
Poop on my pinky ring.
Tell me how to fix it. You take off your pinky ring. Take off your pinky ring. So then it doesn't end up in your sphincter.
Yeah, but get
It's good.
Thank you. I think I'm making the right decision. by taking it off. I'm respecting the pinky ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime this thing's going splunking, okay, we need to make sure it's clean and ready to go. And what I've been doing on the weekends, it is, it's not like a fun job.
Yeah, it's one thing if you're taking like little rabbit poops, but when you're fucking dropping nuclear missiles, like, yeah, you take that thing off.
Have I figured out my diet for the season? The weekends, crushing food.
Okay.
Week, keto.
There you go.
Do it.
It's been working. I don't
Low
think I've
carb
gained
diet.
that
Sounds
much.
great.
Get a haircut every week, so it looks like I'm
Keep it fresh.
Figured it out. Look at me. Huh?
Look at you.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Healthy.
Figured it out.
It was a good Tuesday. Let's get the fuck out of here. Hammer Dahn is in 10 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. I believe there's a link in the chat right now to direct you directly to that show. We'll be in the Thunderdome hopefully next week this time, having a great time. Big thanks to Aaron for joining us, Rex Ryan, and Jordan Poyer, friend of the program. Need to have him on more. AJ, you were great. Boys, you were fantastic. Tone Diggs, I love you, buddy.
Love you.
Connor, what's the giveaway for today?
Oh, I mean, we talked about it earlier. I think it was what should the Browns mascot be instead of Brownie, right? Didn't we want to tweet that hashtag PMS Brownie sucks?
ART is back. Hashtag PMS ART is back. And say something nice to that elf that is now the centerpiece of the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Or say something nice to somebody else. Make sure you put your cash tag in there and screenshot right now. All right. Say something nice to somebody. Maybe the elf. Took quite a beating today from Gnome Lover, Boston Connor.
They should have named
Put
him
your
Mark.
cash tag in there.
Mark.
Would have been sick. Mark the elf.
The elf's name is M-A-R-K. We hate seeing him every day. We put him on the field in some brown paint, and we're gonna lose every fucking game because Mark the elf is here to stay. And
What was that hashtag again?
hashtag PMS ARTISBACK.
Thank you.
ART Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. PMS Pat McAfee Show. We apologize to other people. I'm sorry, that's my name. I'm sorry, the name of the show is PMS.
So,
Not
What are you going to do?
yeah, sorry.
Come on.
Yell at Sally and Tim.
Sorry that menstrual art is back. It's big these days.
No, see, that's
Can't do that.
Really?
Can't do that.
Is it?
No, we do not.
Maybe.
That's the
Menstrual
problem
art?
right there.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
This
That's the
show
problem. God damn it.
is the problem. We're not mocking anything. It just so happens to be the name of the show. We apologize that for a long time for, I guess half the people in the world, not great.
Right.
Yeah.
If it means anything, the show also not great, but it does happen to have the same. Hashtag PMS ART is back. Say something nice to somebody. Put your cash tag in there. Utilize a screenshot from before. You could potentially be one of 20 winners of $500. And big thanks to everybody for joining us. You're the best. Say something nice to somebody. Goodbye.